back to the Kinafama, 1 pill a day, 3 times a day. So we've taken one in the first game. Let's see him or Kinafin 4-4-1. So let's see how it's going to go. I'm only waiting. If he's able to beat the other teams with emphatic goal margins, then I would conclude that this guy is something better.
Emphatic goal margin, they're senior.
Yes.
And it's the win that we want. It's the win that we want.
Hold on. So you have come back to my point.
And you cannot
a win that Otto guaranteed you.
Otto only based on the qualification to the World Cup.
But Otto guaranteed you all the win.
Before the World Cup qualification, Otto had led us to I understand, African Cup of Nations tournaments.
Really?
And we finished last.
Okay.
There were some teams that had not even kicked football before that beat us. When Otto Addo was coach. Otto failed to qualify us to one of the AFCON competitions.
Okay. Wow.
So, granted that Otto has qualified us to the World Cup, if you are putting his performances one by one, he does not pass as a good coach in any way.
Really?
Granted that this one is early days, it's true. But if you have won one, we'll give you the praises. If you go and mess up in the other games,
but why are you refiring somebody who Lord?
So that we re-emphasize that, I don't know, Wasa. Wasa, basa.
Masake, were you able to catch the game? Your verdict on it?
Yes, I did. It was an awesome ending, a very happy ending.
It's too early in the morning.
Hey, you have Kelly there. You say you play him as right back. You say you don't have
who?
K. Yes.
That's what.
It was a happy ending.
Of course. A happy ending.
No, it's quite early in the morning.
I understand you have a dirty mind.
How did he draw that conclusion?
He's the dirt out of my mind.
But it was a happy ending. I mean, the way they started, it seemed as if we had 2 red cards.
Charlie?
In the beginning, watching our performance, it looked as if we had already conceded 2 red cards and we were playing a 9-11.
Right.
And a 9-11 is doomsday, you know? So for some of us, our expectations were very low, but the hope was high. And I wouldn't say even the happy ending was earned. I feel like it was a fluke. You know?
A sweet, let's just say the end of the game.
The happy ending. Yes. To whom much is given, much is expected. So I think Ghanaians have given this coach a lot of our confidence, despite our many contradictions.
And that he has raised expectations.
Yes.
You should be careful.
Are you also are you also of the school of thought that this coach is anything to write home about?
I usually don't like talking about things I don't understand, and football is one of the things I don't really understand.
The reason you are bringing in happy endings.
So
that's what he understands.
So it's the performance for me. It's the performance that always speaks to all the complexities.
Yes.
Because usually when you have a 6 and a 9,
You see,
and a strong 11.
I think Patrice saw where we would get to. He saw it earlier.
He saw it from the beginning, and decided to stop the train.
But we did not
stop the train midway.
Anyway, congratulations to the guys.
They did well. They did very well.
It was also very nice seeing the vice president dancing. When the goal went in, the cameras captured her.
When you are the mother of the nation, dancing, even when you don't want to dance, you will dance.
Should I or should I not?
When the ball went.
Oh, but it was a good.
Should I or should I not?
It was a good one.
Anyways,
you could see the excitement on people's faces. And
I'm telling you, people were partying like they weren't going to work today.
See, the Black Stars, we love them, but because of the pain they cause us often, we want to guard our hearts and say, oh, yeah, you're born and fire home, Black Stars on one side, won't follow them. But if they win, the joy that comes in your heart, it's not a joke. We are all very happy.
I was punching
won
the
yesterday.
air in my room when the goal went in. Yesterday.
Really?
Because it was late, you
I
can't
just
really
watched,
shout
I just
like
watched
that.
about 27 minutes of the game. Like, I initially said I was going to watch
that-
10
that-
minutes. No, the point is that
At that
I
time,
just-
so now yes,
I
first
know-
minutes, no.
No, you see, me, I've been an avid lover of soccer before. I have played soccer, and I've been an avid lover, so I understand it. So the reason for watching only 10 minutes initially in my mind was just to see how the guys were going to play tactically. So when they started, I was like, the guys are playing well. That was all. So I just had to watch 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. When it got 27, I was like, Charlie guy, I have to go sleep, wake up in the morning, and then. So I tuned into BBC this morning and I heard that, oh, it was 1 goal. I knew, first of all, when it rained, somebody may say it's mystical, but when it rained, I knew. I even posted on my page.
On your Facebook.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I saw
One-
on your
saw it.
Facebook
Yeah,
that
exactly.
some lights were out somewhere.
Oh yeah, that was so I had to call the ECG for them to bring us the pass. But I had stated that the rain indicated victory for the Black Stars, and I told a friend of mine that the goal was going to come in the second half. You know, I had already envisioned everything. So you guys, Charlie, cut me some slack here. Not that.
We need to add Sage to your name.
He's a sage,
Sage Patrice.
looking into the future and
Yeah.
But the Mr. Mageshi's defense of Otoado.
You have to tell us who would.
Otoado is solid. Otoado is solid.
You have to tell
if
us
he says
who would score our first goal
but
against England.
Panama will beat England. Yes, I believe that. Panama will beat England.
then that will be the last fixture.
That'll be the last fixture of the group.
Because
right?
we face England on Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Tuesday. All right, okay, that's
Tuesday
good.
at 8 p.m.
The other
Yeah.
games there right now, we don't
It
care.
would be a
again.
draw.
We don't
So
care again.
it's either going to be a draw or they'll cheat us out.
Oh, I think we'll give them
Yeah.
a big 6.
K's on is that we give them one?
A big 6.
He's on a spree.
Yeah. Give them a big 6.
Oh, big ups to all the
Yeah,
Black Stars.
it was
Yeah.
and
So for me, this is what it is. I believe strongly that the onus lies more on the players than the coach. That is my thinking. Because you are the skilled person, you are the talented person, you are the one who's trained over and over, and you understand what is going on the pitch. If you realize that maybe the right back on the opposite side is playing so wildly, you don't play the ball to that side. Don't expect the coach to come tell you that don't play the ball to that side. Or if you're always lobbing the ball in, and the guys are much taller than you are and they are heading it and preventing you, why would you keep lobbing the ball?
Mawuena, you know what I like about football? It makes all of us coaches.
Yes. Oh,
Especially when, I mean, the passion.
Yeah.
it's very
yes.
high. It's very high.
And it builds up a lot of expectation.
Yeah.
So usually when they disappoint us, like we have seen
Yeah.
so many times, some of us we jam our hat. Yeah. So, and I watched the match because I was like, you know, I'll come and sit here this morning. Mawuena asked me a few questions. But usually you already seem to predict the outcome.
Yeah.
And it's not a pleasant one, especially when our last coach took over, Otoado. You know, as much as I don't understand the complexities of football, I wasn't really a fan of him. And
they didn't inspire a lot of
it just killed the team spirit, that national, that solidarity. You know, it wasn't there anymore. So we are happy. We are happy. Well, we are happy. We have a new coach.
I hardly blame coaches. Trust me, I hardly blame.
Patrice,
Then you should hardly blame president.
This is what I want to say.
Yes, Patrice. Because if you can blame
These
coaches, he's the head of the whole.
That's why
different
see
things.
coaches
No.
are a huge
In fact,
deal.
I see them as more important than the players themselves.
No,
Okay,
coaches
an example
coaches
is
are
this.
a
You see,
huge
this.
You want us to settle there? Let's go.
I'm coming. You know, you know,
coaches are a huge deal.
the Barcelona team.
Yes.
The one Guardiola coached.
Yes.
2009.
Yeah, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012.
See how good that team was.
Yes.
After Guardiola, a few other coaches came. Nyehekra almost was some Tito.
Yeah.
Now compare the performance of Guardiola, same players,
Okay.
same crop of no player changed.
But before Guardiola, right before Guardiola, we had
Rijkaard,
Ronaldinho,
those-
we had Eto'o, we had all, and they were playing good.
Yes,
Great. Guardiola came in and yanked all those boys out.
yes.
well, sadly for me at the time, I hated the fact that he had rooted out all my favorite boys. He won 6 caps. Just that first year, he won 6 caps.
After rooting out
all
the
the
quality,
exactly.
because the coach's imprint became
great. So let's look at Mourinho.
Yeah.
Is Mourinho a great coach?
He is.
Oh, I thought you were comparing Guardiola to the people who came after him, so that
No,
we'll
in
see,
fact, even
we'll
if
see
it
the
goes,
void.
even if it goes on the tangent of Mourinho,
But
his
hold on.
work shows that
His work shows.
came into Chelsea 2004, 2005.
Exactly.
What did
First
he do?
season.
And then how many years did
Won
he
the
coach?
Champions League
Yeah.
with Porto before that.
Yeah, before that. And then
to
what
Chelsea
happened?
to come and
What
win the
happened?
league twice in
Yes,
in
exactly. Did he win the
succession.
Champions League with Chelsea?
No, he did
couldn't.
not.
Great. And then we went where? To where, Madrid?
Yes.
What
he's
did he
been to
do?
He
Madrid.
went to Inter before
Inter,
going to Madrid.
Madrid.
He won the treble at Inter
And then what happened?
and went to
Oh,
Madrid.
did it just happen that he won the treble and then he went off? What happened? There was a dive. There was a nose dive.
No,
There was a
there
dip
wasn't a nose dive. In fact, it was after he won the Champions League and he left immediately to Madrid.
to Madrid. And what happened at Madrid?
He was
5-0
successful.
drubbing. And
No, I mean there were
Yes.
losses and all of that.
Yes.
But ask any Madrid fan today, and the reason he's been brought back
yeah.
is that the 3 peats Madrid went on.
Yes.
The core of that team was built by Mourinho, and he instilled discipline and the winning culture in the team.
So you are telling me that
So
Mourinho
can't-
is not.
you can't
so when
argue-
he went to Manchester United, what happened?
He won trophies while he was at United.
No, excuse me, mention the trophies.
He
You
won
see
the Europa League.
there. He won the FA Cup.
You are talking about. You see, he quickly mentioned
No.
Champions League and all those treble and
That was the
Europa League,
level of United at the time he went there.
and he won the league, the
Look,
Europa with them.
He's been a winner, a proven winner everywhere
And what
he's
happened?
gone.
He was being scored 4-1, 3-0,
You
and all
see,
those things.
the result will go
Remember.
against Guardiola at the peak of his powers.
Yes.
Lost
Mourinho
to
was
Chelsea.
Mourinho was still last team sometimes.
10-man Chelsea at the Camp Nou in the 2012
What I
Champions
want you
League.
to understand is that for me, in my mind, the role of a coach is just like 10%.
No. I will
Because-
disagree
Well,
with you.
that's-
I will
I mean,
disagree
that's
with
according
you.
to him, so we can let it
And
go
the
like
reason
that.
being, he only needs to understand the game and instill the tactical discipline in the boys.
He was
And say,
using coaches,
play
though.
this way, play
When
that way.
when Tuchel came, same
Yes.
crop of Chelsea players.
See what Lampard did to them
They
before
were
Tuchel
they were
came.
going nowhere.
Same team,
no
different
changes.
player.
And
Came,
I'm telling you,
took them, won the Champions League.
It's the
The
players
coaches'
who
inputs
deliberately
and
play
imprint.
against coaches. It is players who deliberately play against coaches to make them dip. The moment they send that coach out, the team starts waking up, and everybody thinks, what's happening to Paul Pogba? You see what's happening to him? It was under him that all those things happened when Mourinho was at the helm of affairs at Manchester United.
We can argue about that.
Exactly.
In fact,
what happened?
To
under
sum
Chelsea?
this conversation up
Yes,
for me, this
yes.
is what I'll say. I read the lyrics of the song Passenger. It says
No, that's the
Passenger,
name,
okay.
that's the name
Yes.
of the artist.
Okay.
Passenger.
it says
Okay.
you only need the light when it is burning low. You only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love it when you let her go. These 3 sentences what I would say to
Oh, that means
end the
he's
album.
talking
Only
to
know
you
you
guys.
love it when
And
you
I'll
let
say-
it
You
go.
guys are
Yes.
how you are describing.
No.
When you let it go.
So I am reversing it. I am reversing it to mean that
Yes,
until
Otuado.
you get a bad coach,
Yes.
you don't know the value of a good coach.
These coaches have been moving to and fro from team A to team B to team C, and their performances are just like they are undulating. It moves up, it moves down. So for me, I still believe strongly that a coach is very important in a team because they call him the team manager. You must read games tactically. But my point is, we shouldn't place the blame heavily on the coach who has taught the boys on the training pitch. And you get to the field and you are a skilled, talented footballer who's highly paid, and you expect me to come and hold your leg and tell you, kick the ball this way.
That is
kick
very
the ball
true.
that way.
What you're saying is
So
true.
for me, a lot rests on the commitment of the players. The reason I pulled out of soccer, I no longer support teams. Unless it's a Mourinho team. If it's a coach of a team, I'll be there. But now,
So you are back at Madrid now.
I dislike Mbappe.
Oh, he's a very talented player.
I dislike, no, On the field of play, his skill is unmatched. No two ways about that. But I don't like his human relations. What he did to, was it Javi? What was that coach before?
Arbeloa and Alonso.
Yes. Why? I mean, the time that they had played against Barcelona and the guard of honor, and he called off the players and all that. I mean, what kind of attitude is that?
Anyways,
so, yeah.
On the town was sweet yesterday.
Oh, lovely.
Town was very, very sweet, and I wish I could have joined in the party, but I didn't.
All attendance books in offices should be closed.
But you guys, you see, you didn't pay close attention to the things that I said.
Yeah, yesterday I know. You see, we should make it a holiday.
Oh no, I didn't say holiday. I didn't say holiday.
No, I am adding that it should have been. I'm not saying you said it's a holiday. I thought we should have made it a holiday.
So I'm saying that the human resource
the moment the thing
should have made the
goal went in, or the interior minister should have been putting a few together.
After more than about 2 o'clock. Right now that you are going to sleep.
What time will you wake up?
That's why I said the HR managers should have started the day.
How productive are you going to be? See, Mawuena, ninyo bokum see. Mawuena, sick of we won yesterday. Our 3FM sunrise. Even if you want us to come, we'll come. For come, they will come. And when we come, we are saying.
Stop speaking this man's language. If you want us to show up, we show up.
If you want us to show up, we'll show up. And we'll finish, you do some small, table.
Did you come early this morning?
Stop. You see?
No, I was just asking if he came early this morning.
If he showed up early this morning.
No, it's the same. It's the same.
And that's what you want to. Stop. I think the 1-0 is affecting him.
The New Republic newspaper this morning.
Let's get into the papers now.
The New Republic this morning, front page. They say that revealing the blurred lines. Z pays $100 million heist, part 3. Inside trail looted fintech jewel. Founder, sister, and treasurer accused of systematic looting as fintech group collapses and $100 million debt pile. Also, Lands Minister orders GGSA vetting of all building permits. Leaked GPMA memo accuses AGI of backroom betrayal. Ghana's tax to GDP ratio rises to 14% as revenue reforms gain traction. FBI grabs romance fraud baron in Morocco. Also, storm
romance fraud baron.
Yeah.
That should be Jibril.
Yes, Jibril. And I understand his name is also Baron, also Baron.
That is
okay.
His
I thought it was like a baron in the game. Reason for which I was.
Finally, the front page of the New Republic newspaper. Storm in NPP over Afari Military Hospital. Kennedy Japan breaks ranks, admitting party failed to complete facility despite 8 years in power. He says, "Don't blink."
He was saying, "Don't blink." He said he was speaking and the guy was blinking at him to not continue in the tangent he was. Or he said, "Why are you blinking? Don't blink. Allow me to speak. We have to think about the country."
This is our future president. On diplomacy, they are. I tell you, opposite ends. Yes, Patrice.
Okay, so let's do the daybreak. Daybreak says Ghana-Pakistan deepen defense ties to explore opportunities. And then Seydou Agongo, was deepened. And then that's over monopoly of in NLA lottery operations. And Catapult project. GPHA holds sensitization forum on environmental impact assessment. And then the banner headline says, Mensa Bonsu, Baumia's chief of staff. That is daybreak for you.
Also,
there's the Daily Democrat.
The Daily Democrat.
Yes, Daily Democrat. I think their tagline says nothing but the truth. And then we have at the top, it says Land Ministry launches task force to protect state lands. Government distributes 40,000 bags of fertilizer drones to farmers. No abuse in big push contracts, presidency report. Gold board, military partner to reclaim devastated forest reserves. And Onassis Sports license sparks lottery monopoly debate. Ghana-U.S. Virgin Islands deepen trade, tourism, and investment relationships. Plastic manufacturers warn of massive job losses over planned styrofoam ban.
Yeah.
RE Gamanche unveils Sacred Crown Awards.
There are a new set of awards in town. Let me do this, then you get it.
Radamus Resources debunks security officer shooting, calls for police probe into death of illegal miner. And at the back of the Daily Democrat, we have the national prayer and Thanksgiving.
Right. I have the exclusive before Crosby run us through a number of front pages as well. Onasa Sports Lanterns triggers a monopoly debate. I'm interested in that one. I don't know what Onassis is. Ghana secures $300 million to end double track system. Lands Ministry launches task force to protect state lands. Styrofoam ban threatens massive job losses. Manufacturers warn. Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire strengthen cocoa cooperation. Despite Media Group becomes first stop as GMTF launches strategic media engagement tour, and Brekuso Hene demands relentless fight against Galamsey. Crosby.
The Daily Guide this morning, front page is Baumia appoints Chairmansa Bonsu, Chief of Staff. Also, Giftawari trial, bank admits NIB fraud probe. Banner headline, Gold Board GAF FC sign 35 million cedis tunnel forest rescue deal. Mystery deaths rock in Suta. Caption on the front page of the Daily Guide. I'll take you to the Chronicle. Missing NDC organizer saga. Family turns to JM for Saka. Also, Amabua inaugurates GA task force to fight encroachment on state lands. Yellow Crop Assembly records major development gains. The Ghanaian Times, it says that nightmare on Akran-Sawam Road worsens as bad sections at Dobro, Achimota, cause gridlock. Government cracks down on encroachment with new lands tax force. Ghana Cote d'Ivoire signed deal to harmonize producer price policies. Also, producer inflation climbs to 5.8 in May, according to the Ghana Statistical Service.
Right then, we can get a bit more in terms of online portals as well.
Okay.
Patrice, you...
So I have Ghana Web here, and says that use of King of Igbo's title abolished in Ghana. That is a leader of Igbo community. And 214 pupils displaced after 70-year-old school demolished for market project. Also says, see the only community toilet carried away by flood. And yes.
Wait, the community toilet has been carried away
by the flood.
How?
Yes.
The building has collapsed.
Well, it's just terrible, but that is what the story says on the front page of...
it reminds me of the story of some community got to be that flat watched that way. You know?
Really?
You see only the problem
Also,
the gods are not to blame.
They are not to blame. Urenchi's 95th minute strike fires Ghana past Panama in World Cup opener. And has he breached any code? Adawudu defends Chief Justice over trip to support the Black Stars. And Pure Joy, yes, watch Vice President Jane Nana's reaction to Black Stars' late winning goal. So, inside the 14-point memorandum signed to end the US-Israel war. I mean, we're happy. So for the next 60 days, we're going to have the Strait of Hormuz open, toll-free, and business is going to run as it is. And I'm so much excited about it. And then they have also lifted the embargo on the ports in Iran. So for the two people, I mean, it's going to work and it's going to help the whole world. So that's it. Franklin Codjoe calls for clarity on Sedinam Tamaklo case, and Manasseh Azuri delivers verdict on Ghana's fight against corruption. So that is Ghana Web for you today.
I'm just going to mention on crude oil and the Strait of Hormuz deal, right? We're seeing crude oil and tumbling further. We're now down to around $75, $74 per barrel. At this point in time, when we started the week, we were at $80 per barrel, and so if it continues like this, it will mean that prices
will go down
even further.
Yeah.
At the next pricing window, which is very great for us in terms of pockets, right? But let me take you online now. A lot of stories in relation to Black Stars. There's a countdown there as well.
But Mawuena, there's something interesting.
Right.
You know, the Strait of Hormuz has been opened.
Yeah.
And yes, I
wide.
mentioned that. I thought I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
So
It's been opened wide enough to allow global commerce.
and that is 20% of oil trade that goes to the. I thought I had said that.
Yeah, it just crossed my mind that it has been opened.
And it is seeing oil prices tumble as well.
Yeah. It's good for MPA. Yes.
So all the vessels they just
Exactly.
My people,
Yeah.
this morning,
you see?
the stratosphere you are operating on.
Please, let's come back to our level. Yes,
Good morning, Sikafutro.
So a bit more in terms of Black Stars action, but also on 3news.com, Sedina Tamaklo Ationu not under house arrest, remains in prison custody. Kane and Bellingham fire England past Croatia. In the Upper East region, police arrest suspected armed robber and his accomplice in Bolgatanga. I'll take you to my joyonline.com. 2026 World Cup, let Urenchi strike gives Ghana victory over Panama in opener. Our coach has been speaking as well. 2026 World Cup, we battled like warriors and won with our brains. That's our coach. Sedena Tamaklo Ationu in prison custody, not under house arrest. CityNewsroom.com. We battled like warriors and won with our brains. Queros on Black Stars win, and Sedinam Tamaklo in Ghana prison's custody at Dawudu is saying this. Urenchi's stoppage time strike gives Ghana dramatic World Cup win over Panama, and those are the details as well from the online portals for us. I think we can get into a bit more of details from elsewhere.
I think Kay has a few of them.
Right.
Yes, I think the Dispatch newspaper front page says, is Haruna Idrisu likely to be vice president? Or no, it says, is Haruna Idrisu likely to be vice president Nane's running mate?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Benessa.
Look at where they've put the ball.
And
this morning.
That's what I'm saying.
they say KGL Foundation offers health screening for Bolgatanga residents. If NPP is united, it has a strong chance of winning the 2028 elections. Afoku. And then there is focus on air pollution, Ghana's second risk factor for death after blood pressure. Yeah.
So,
But the Haruna question, you know.
that's where you want us to start.
The Haruna
Because,
question. And the MPP is unity. And the 2028 elections.
In terms of the polling, right? The polls that we've seen, has the vice president come up strongly in any of them? Off the top of my head, I don't think I've seen her come up. The individual we've seen, who, in fact, the person the paper is suggesting will be a running mate, has popped up more times than the vice president in terms of potential candidates.
That paper's predictions have even failed us a few times.
Oh.
Yes, it's true, isn't it?
Well, I mean,
Facts don't lie.
it's just analysis.
Well, but Musa Dankwa has been sharp in his analysis consistently. Even though sometimes I find a few things, a few details I would love to be delved into missing. But you know, posters are posters. They also have their own criteria.
Right, Crosby, let me get a bit more in terms of details from you this morning from the papers.
I'm taking a look at some of the stories that the New Republic this morning is reporting. Key amongst them is what is happening in the NPP The paper is calling it a storm in the MPP over Afari Military Hospital. There's also one story from Bright Siemens. The story says it takes aim at Ghana's selective resource nationalism. This is what the paper says, that the loudest advocates for Ghanaian control of the country's natural wealth are silent when it comes to the perilous business of actually discovering that wealth, the leading policy analyst has charged. Bryce Siemens of Imani Africa has thrown down the gauntlet on what it describes as a deeply flawed parting of resource nationalism, questioning why domestic entities and self-styled national champions only demand local equity when the geological heavy lifting has already been done by foreign firms. I don't know what we all make of the quest to, if you like, quote unquote, nationalize our resource so that we get the most out of it. I don't know what you make of it.
I think it's a brilliant idea. Not necessarily like doing it through and through. It's a global village, as people say. And if you don't have any technically minded person to handle it, you don't have the skill. You don't have that to mine or to handle any such project. I don't think because we just want to be nationalistic and patriotic, we need to let just any Tom, Dick and Harry enter into the space. For me, I think it has to do with being on top of issues, having the credibility in doing businesses in that regard.
It's true.
So if, for example, there is some company in Togo or some company in US or Canada or anywhere wants to go into the mining space, the most important thing that we need to consider as Ghanaians is the person going to work in terms of structure, policy, good governance. You get it? These are the considerations that we need to put in. It is good to have Ghanaians handle it, which I believe is right, if they are capable of doing it. No two ways about it. Because the point is that in that regard, there will be nothing like capital flight when you make profits. And it looks like it is our own, so would guard it more. Now, it creates generational wealth for the families of those who are handling it, and then also creates jobs. Because in that regard, you're not going to bring in expatriates and pay them more than something, and there's not going to be any call for local content. You get it? So everything would be stationed here, and every material perhaps will be sourced from the same land. So if it is that we have to do so, I agree. But where we lack the expertise, I think we should open up, because lots of countries have done that and they have had a turnaround.
Right. I agree with what you're saying, but I also agree with what Bright is saying. And Bright is only taking it before the wealth comes. So what he's saying is that we, the nationals, when we talk about nationalism, we only refer to when the resource has been identified, the digging, the drilling has been done. Then we go and we say that we want to mine it. But when it comes to the drilling, so this is what it says. Why is it that it is only developed mines and oil fields that trigger the clamor for local ownership? At the heart of his critique lies a stark structural contradiction. State institutions and private operators exhibit a conspicuous aversion to greenfield ventures, yet invoke aggressive economic nationalism the moment commercial viability is secured.
So we don't invest to find the minerals.
Yes, to find it, because that is risky. If you go, you want to find and you don't find it.
That's the argument he's
making.
I'll disagree with Bright.
That's the argument he's making.
Oh, Bright is on top of issues this morning.
That's the.
You said Bright is what?
He's on top of issues.
So that's what he says.
I disagree with
by refusing to absorb the hefty financial and technical losses associated with frontier seismic survey and wildcat drilling, these local champions effectively rely on foreign multinationals to de-risk the nation's resource base. Only when the uncertainty evaporates do they demand a seat at the table. So if you won't come and do the hard lifting, you want me to come and do the hard lifting, don't you think after doing the hard lifting I would want to continue to enjoy the fruit of my labor? That is something that makes the conversation a little some way in the favor of the foreign companies.
The reason I'm saying I'll disagree with Bright is that Bright, I mean, looking at who he is
and the work he's done, right?
Exactly, should understand clearly that things don't happen the way as it's been spread in the newspaper. No, it is contractual, and anybody coming in to prospect for minerals goes into a particular contract. If you're going to do the prospecting, there are rules and regulations governing it. There are laws governing it. So nobody comes to do the prospecting, and right after the prospecting, people clamor that a local person should take over. No, it is absolutely wrong and not factual. The point is that when you're coming in to do the prospecting, you lay down everything that you would want to do. So you're going to prospect, you're going to mine, you're going to do whatever, and then you pay some monies to the state. That is the reason GNPC is all in there. That is why the Minerals Commission is all in there for everything mining. So the point is that there are royalties that are paid, and there.
Yeah.
There are taxes that are paid, and there. So all those things are factored into the law. Bright should not make it seem, or we should not pick from what he has written in his write-up, that it means we just sit aloof, allow somebody to come and open like prospects for mining when the person gets it, and then we say, hey, let's jump on board. It is not so. It is not factual.
Which is right.
It is, yes, it is not factual. It is wrong.
So
what Ghana requires is local content. That there should be local content in anything with regards to that. So Bright cannot say that somebody comes to prospect and go. The point is, when the time is up and somebody wants to give it up, sorry, they can.
Sorry to cut you.
Yeah,
There's a paragraph in the write-up, and reading it, I think, is a good read. So this is what it says, that international oil companies and global mining conglomerates, they base their decisions on long-term legal security and predictable fiscal regimes.
Great.
When successful discoveries consistently trigger political pressure for equity reallocation, the perceived risk of operating in Ghana rises sharply, prompting global boards to redirect exploration budgets to more stable jurisdictions. The consequence is a steady decline in frontier exploration activity as foreign measures restrict operations to existing fields or exit entirely. The state capacity to expand its proven net reserves become severely constrained because, again, like as mentioned in the earlier paragraphs, the locals in this context, we understand, will not be able to, by themselves, go and do the discovery. So in summary, what he's saying is that if the foreigners now begin to think that you not come and do the discovery, we should do the discovery for you. When we finish doing the discovery, then all of you start saying that we should reallocate the resource nationalism. Then I won't even come and do the discovery with you or for you, I would go. It means if I go, there may be other areas in the country that have reserves that you have to discover. But because I have left, it means you not discover, you not expand.
It is not factual.
That
write-up is deceptive.
Here is where I think I will agree with Patrice in that as we speak, particularly in our upstream petroleum sector, we are working round the clock to have big players return because oil exploration in this country has been on the decline for the last 2, 3, 5 years even, because investment has not been coming. The investment which came, I think the Springfield, there was an entire haggle which has sort of driven investors away, and the current administration is seeking to work to have persons come in, drill new wells for new discoveries to be made.
Why has it declined?
Why has it declined?
Yes.
Production levels, lack of investment, amongst many other things, all contributing. And see, going offshore to go and drill wells in prospecting, I'm going to use the term prospecting because that will best, a lot of people will understand. Seeking to see if you get oil costs a lot of money.
Absolutely.
And it's not money that if the people of Ghana were to have, they want to channel into prospecting. Which is why perhaps we can have a conversation and ask, GNPC should have reached a certain level by now where we can say that they could be doing that. We can have that conversation.
They could themselves.
They could fund.
Yes, they could fund
raise funds to do
and have that done. But as it stands, we've not done that. We've used it as a charity organization funding events here and there, and their core mandate has been left.
This write-up is just a sweeper. This write-up is just a sweeper. When you read it, you may think that, what Bright has put out there seems to be what it is. But my point is that in mining and what's the name? Prospecting and exploration and all those things, the legal documentation that backs it is not as simple as he has made it seem to be. That you can just come in, you prospect, when you finish, then you just fold your arms and wait for the next instruction. Person A, person B, go. No. You go in and state exactly what you want to do. I want to come in, I want to prospect, I want to mine. When I mine, I need to get this tonnage. If I'm able to get this tonnage, then I'll continue till the next 49 years, if it's a foreign-owned company, 49 years, which is renewable after that period of time. So even renewable, you're giving the first point of reference. You get it? So it is not that foreigners come into mine, discover, after they discover, prospect and everything, and they start mining, then Ghanaians will rush in and say local content. No. I believe the write-up is deceptive.
Well,
the write-up is deceptive.
I get what Patrice is saying, but I am tilting more towards the write-up.
My point is that nobody comes in to do that huge investment.
Yes.
So like you're talking about what? Tallow coming in, or you're talking about any of the big oil companies coming in, and you're saying, or the mining firms come in and they just come and write what contract with who?
So that's the crux of the conversation. That in the contract, it will not be as
it is clearly stated. The number, even the period of time that you're supposed to is 49 years for foreign companies, and then up to 90 years for the locals. So the point is that everybody knows that after doing this, you need to find. When you find whatever, if it is the mineral resource, when you find it, a percentage goes to the state. You retain a certain percentage and you continue working and mining. Nobody comes in to stop you. Wherein lies the contract? The details of the contract indicates that I'm supposed to mine over this period of time. And when I'm not done mining, you can't sack me. You can't throw me out of the country.
Yes, so all of that is stated
exactly.
in the contract.
Nothing.
So then,
what is the essence?
So what then is the conversation about the nationalism about in the mind of the ordinary Ghanaian?
What I think,
if you go onto the street and you ask the ordinary people, they'll think that let us do it. I think that is their understanding. That's the communication of nationalism to them. That not to sack them, but we are able to do it, so let us do it, even regardless of the agreements that have been signed and all of that.
I believe what orchestrated this had to do with even the first time that Ibrahim Mahama was given the bauxite concession. And then it was given to the Chinese, who couldn't really do anything. And the second one has to do with the new takeover of the mining concession. So people are claiming that if we have Ghanaians who are worthy of mining or taking over these mineral industries, let us first of all take a glance at them, rather than always rushing to the foreigner who would come in with so many clauses where upon getting everything from the mine, they would repatriate the money to their countries.
So, I mean, what has even become of the South African company? And their relationship with
Goldfields?
Yes, their relationship with Ghana as well. And
but for Goldfields, their lease is coming to an end.
Yes.
And there's a conversation.
But they had an automatic release.
Automatic renewal clause. I'm not sure about that. Otherwise, it wouldn't go about.
I think there was an automatic renewal.
What usually happens is, for me, I again say the write-up may be misleading, depending on your leanings. It just beats my mind.
Where I will agree with the write-up is the forward-looking nature with which we must approach our extractive industry. That for a very long time, resource management and extraction has been come and prospect. When you find it, mine, give us some. Now there's been conversations. Nationalize. Let's nationalize our natural resources. If we want to do that, then we have to also begin to shoulder the responsibility of going to find where the minerals are.
Exactly what Bright is saying here, that we should not wait for people to come and look for it for us, and then we'll begin to say that we want something.
Nobody waits.
Let us all go and look for the thing, and let us all share it.
Which is why, when I said...
Nobody waits, because anybody coming into prospect knows that there is something, there are some gains in there for me.
Nobody will invest, and after a year or two, you say, oh, we want to nationalize our resources.
This is the case
for goldfields, they've been mining for a very long time, 30 plus years, if I'm not mistaken.
The example we made with GNPC, for instance, is how we expect them now to be able to go and do exploration themselves, the discovery themselves. You see, so that is the thing. So GNPC should not, for instance, GNPC should not wait for a foreign company, big multinational company, to come and do the risk assessment, the digging, the finding. So that is what he's saying, that should not be the situation.
No, he can't say that. It's a global playing field. It's a global playing field. So
because if you wait for them to come and do it for you, then it becomes difficult for them to agree that you want to now share the resource that has been found.
Halliburton is largely one of the largest oil mining companies in the world. Halliburton is spread across Africa and all that kind of thing. The point is that when you're working in a jurisdiction and anything happens that is contrary to the contract that you signed with them, or you think that there's political interference, or you believe that taxes are so high, based on the negotiations you would have with the key players and stakeholders, then you can say that for these people, this is what they do. But it doesn't happen. What usually happens with Ghana is that they believe there's political stability. They believe that the state control is minimized. The only thing is that the input needs to come from the umbrella institution that is put there to manage such things. So if you're saying that, okay, you are renegotiating the, what's the name? What they pay? What's the name thing that they pay? Oh Lord God Almighty, bring the word. After they mine, the royalties that they pay. If you're saying that it should be negotiated upwards to 50%, that is where the person prospecting will tell you that the investment that I made, if I'm to pay 50% out of it as royalties, it's going to collapse my business or the investment.
Then let's wait till our grandchildren are born.
So my point is that this is misleading because he is a lawyer and he knows that before anybody decides to come and prospect and mine, the person goes into a contract that is concise, that states every.
No, I think what Bright is highlighting is just value exchange. You know, at what rate? Because if people are going to come in, of course, we don't expect you to come and find the money here to do the work. We expect that
bring it.
You would bring. You are coming to invest in our country. Yeah. But what is the value exchange? And I think that is what Bright has been highlighting. That the value exchange usually does not protect Ghanaian interests. It does not protect our national interests. So it would be better if Ghanaians start preparing themselves, or if we start organizing our resources towards meeting some of these high-end expectations when it comes to nationalizing some of these resources.
So that your bargaining power is bigger.
Yes.
Because if your bargaining power is not big because of where you find yourself now, then the foreigners will be running riot. You'll be making noise, but you don't have the capacity to do it if they leave it on your laps.
I don't look. When you read the second paragraph of what Bright said, he says that Bright Simmons, Vice President of Imani Africa, has thrown down the gauntlet on what he describes as a deeply flawed pattern of resource nationalism, questioning why domestic entities and self-styled national champions, so you can see that he is going under the belt or below the belt, only demand local equity when the geological heavy lifting has already been done by foreign firms. It is not we sitting together, my car is stuck in the mud, you come and help me lift the car, then I drive off and say that, hey, now person A, person B should go and... The reason I am disputing whatever he's saying is that nobody just wakes up to come and invest heavily in the country when it comes to mining the natural mineral resource. It is governed by law. And the contract that you sign therein that is accepted by you and the country that you are mining in would indicate whether you want to go ahead.
So he's saying it's not wrong. I mean, laws are living documents.
So what he is claiming here is that
he's saying that it's not wrong for us to review. Yes. It's not wrong for us to review some of these laws so that the value exchange would be meaningful. Because, I mean, sometimes when you think about, you saw the lithium contract agreement, and sometimes you're just wondering. Then we should probably just leave our mineral resources for the next generations to come. And yes, we should just leave it for the next generation to come and because
there's a low blow in there.
If we don't want to leave it too, and we want to bring it out so that we'll start enjoying
invest in
then we have to invest in it. And I think that's what he's saying. That's the point he's really making.
Right. We have to wrap up. Make way for sports. Mutala is on standby to bring us the very latest from the world of sports. I'm sure we'll talk a bit more about the Black Stars. But when we return, huge conversations in relation to MMDCs.
God bless you.
I wanted to say Patrice's favorite subject.
So we're talking.
The 1-0 was good, eh?
We're talking MMDCs because the Minister for Local Government has been visiting a number of municipalities and districts, and it will amaze you the sort of discoveries he's been making.
Oh, wow.
Monies and accounts not being used amongst many others. When we return after sports, we'll get into all of that for you here on the 3FM Sunrise. But let's get into sports for you right now. His face tells he's not had a long rest, but let's talk Black Stars, right? And what played out yesterday. It was a difficult watch, particularly in the first half, must be honest, but it improved. The coaches' changes proved effective in the long run, and we got a victory in the end.
About yourself, you've not had enough sleep. I can see from your eyes. Because I had to sit on TV from 9 p.m. up until somewhere 1:40 yesterday. Done with it. You have to monitor the, post-match press conference and all the coaches and the players are saying and all that. But it was a good one. At least our sleep wasn't in vain. We all.
It was nearly in vain.
It was nearly. We all sat throughout the night, and in the end we had victory. But there's a lot to do. Trust me. For now we can celebrate. For now we can jubilate. But there's a lot of work to be done on the team. We understand. We have to accept as a people that we are not at that level that we used to be some years ago.
Yeah.
The quality has dropped. And it happens to every national team every now and then. Brazil are currently suffering it. Germany, after winning 2014, remember when they came to the 2018
exited group stages,
exited group
two
stage.
straight times.
Belgium 2018 squad that got to the semi-final. Check their team now. They are also suffering. It happens to every national team every now and then. But, overall, Carlos Queiroz can look back and say, okay, at least I got 3 points from the game, but the performance must improve. Yesterday was when I actually or properly understood his statement, Carlos Queiroz's statement when he was unveiled that this could be the most difficult job that he's taken. Trust me, it is a difficult job. One, you don't have the luxury of time because you came just 2 months to the World Cup. You played just one friendly match against Wales when the likes of Panama were playing, Brazil playing about 3-4 friendly matches. 2, the quality has dropped. 3, you have major injuries in your team. Salisu, Jiku, Kudus, Thomas Partey having his own issue with the Canadian authorities and all that. So the quality in the team is not up there, especially the first half. It was a very tough watch. If you're a Ghanaian, I'm sure your heart was just in your mouth in the first half.
I know people who went to bed after
when the game started.
The first game and
I think after the 15-minute mark when Kelly Brinchi had that yellow card, I had to go online to just check comments. And the Ghanaians were scared to death because Panama were playing better than Ghana. And it's no surprise they are ranked higher than Ghana. They are ranked 34th. We are ranked 73rd in the world. When did Panama even learn how to play football? They were passing the ball around very confidently. But in tournaments like this, as Didier Deschamps, the French coach, would always say, you need players with individual quality who can just turn up and cause magic, like what Kylian Mbappe has been doing for France. Mbappe with France is a different breed, like what Lionel Messi does for Argentina. You watch their game, he didn't do anything extraordinary. He just turned up and produced magic. You need players like that for tournament like this. And I'm glad Brandon Thomas Asante finally is getting the recognition he needs. He's someone that a lot of people have called to start in the game. And he coming on with that energy. Fatai Sahaku, a lot of people bashed him for what he was doing off the field, the social media, the Snapchat. But yesterday he brought some energy into the game. And Kali Brinchi, the very energetic young midfielder, would always make that run into the box. He scored a similar goal against Wales, if you remember. He started the move, went on to finish. Same with this goal yesterday that he scored against Panama. He started the move and went on to finish. But, Egbeta, there's a lot to do. A lot to do on this team, especially that defense. When Atizigi was, signaling that he couldn't continue, it was heartbreaking because he was our best player in the first half. With some of the saves he was pulling off, especially
the first 5 minutes.
5 minutes he pulled over saves because Martinez almost scored, and some of the aerial balls that he was picking up. You could see a very confident goalkeeper.
I was just not too excited about the punches. He was punching the ball far too many times. He could have grabbed some and was. But
there's something with Asari that is unique.
It's a certain calm.
It makes me always believe that football is not just about what we see on the pitch, because sometimes he's in the post and players even forget there's a goal post that exists to even shoot. And he takes me back to 2009. We had a goalkeeper with the under-20 team that won the World Cup in Egypt, Daniel Eji. He barely makes saves and he barely concedes. He would be in the post and shots they come in top
shots do not count.
They come in top seven.
Crosby, come and give me the Latin word for Atizigi.
They come in top 7.
Crosby has a Latin phrase for Atizigi. He says,
really?
Atizigi, he call goals. And then Benjamin Asare, he repels the
Crosby, where did you come with this?
It's a Latin phrase.
There's a Latin phrase.
There's a corpus in there.
It is spiritus Colors, bolos.
Which means
Nesusun Frebo.
I just think Susum the call.
I just you know that poor numa in the spirit of Frebo.
Yes, Spiritus Colors.
If you can't explain it with science, with if you want to go into the metaphysical, no.
The only thing I wasn't happy about yesterday was the turnout at the stadium.
Yeah.
Do you know there were more Ghanaians outside the stadium than inside the stadium?
Oh, really?
Yes, a lot of Ghanaians. And the government had to issue a statement about the number of tickets they had to distribute to Ghanaians. It was 900 and something. You are playing against a team that is in North America. So for them, it's like just...
it's a neighboring town,
yes.
yeah.
So you needed a lot of people in there. I mean, the videos that came with the fan packs that were happening, there were more Ghanaians outside the stadium than in the stadium. The stadium takes 45,000. I can tell you there were about 30,000 Panamanians in the stadium. Because it was clad in red. Against England, we need to see an improved number of fans in there. Because, I mean, that is the US. We have a lot of Ghanaians in there. Because definitely there will be a lot of English fans in the US. And they would come and support England. Because against England, it be do and die. It be do and die.
Get a draw, then you're almost...
You're through. And one thing that I didn't really like is the fact that we scored just one against Panama. Because I am doing my calculations as a Ghanaian that I must do. And I am realizing that Croatia can beat Panama like 3. Yes. Because if you get a team like Panama fans, if you speak to them, they see Ghana as the whipping boys of the group. And we also see them as the whipping boys. So Croatia and England have chalked. For them, Croatia were always going to have it difficult against England. Because England have too much individual quality. Harry Kane alone can just pick up a ball, go past 3 players and shoot and score. So that game against England, we must use the Cavedian tactics because we can't go to toe with England. If we try to open up, the likes of Reece James will be smiling.
Which is where I'm going to take us to. Our coach has been speaking after the game, said a number of things about how we have to suffer. Amongst many other things. Let's start from there. Listen to him first off speak after the game yesterday, and then I'll come to
for him, Joy, Benjamin Asare as well. People were extremely happy for him. Came on in the second half in a huge game like this where it wasn't as if Ghana were on top. It was the Panamanians who were dominating. We saw him come on against Wales. He conceded. This time he was very calm. In the presence of all this pressure, he delivered, and he also spoke after the game.
I'm so impressed, and I thank the Almighty God because it's not easy. And my determination and my focus, that's made me this opportunity because that is my wish. That's the one I want to achieve. Yeah, sure. As you know, like the way you are saying, give me the chance to Almighty God because He has given me the victory in this match. Just want to steady to next game. Yes, I want to tell them that they should still support me because football, for football, there is your job and it's your talent. So once it's your talent, then it's your job. You must focus and always when you're on the field, you must improve. There is the day maybe you get a bad day, and there's the day maybe you get a good day. But that doesn't mean that maybe if you get a bad day, that you are not there. You always focus, because once it's your job, you must improve to the people. Then goes to you should get it.
So Benjamin Asare, looking like he'll be the man in post for us against England, because Atizigi.
If Atizigi doesn't recover in time, definitely Benjamin Asare will be there. And clearly, you could see that Carlos Queiroz went with experience. He went with players who have been there before and have seen it before, because he doesn't have the luxury of time, as we said. So he went with the trusted players as well. So he went with Gideon Mensah at left back. The only person that couldn't get into the team that was part of the 2022 defensive setup was Ali Dusedo. Reason being that he had been injured for a long time. And two, he's not a natural right back. So if you have a natural right back in Senaya coming in, definitely Senaya has to start.
All right. Jordan as well spoke.
Captain of the side yesterday. I mean, I think he put in a shift in the second half. He was winning most of the aerial duels. He won about 7 aerial duels, but I mean, there was nobody to pick up the ball. And there's something that must change about Jordan. Carlos Queiroz doesn't need to play him as the main center forward. He needs to. Jordan plays better when he plays behind the striker. It will be best for Semenyo or Brandon Thomas Asante to play as the arrowhead and Jordan behind them. That is where you will get the best out of him. But he says that the dressing room, everyone is excited and they are looking forward to that England game.
It was amazing, you know. They gave us energy. That's what we needed, positiveness, and you know, he gave us the extra energy to do the extra yard, you know. And it wasn't easy. It was never rocking for everyone, but listen, that's football, and you know, we're in a situation where we've lost a lot of key players and we've changed a new manager as well, and we've only had one friendly game. So at the end of the day, you know, we still need to build in our fitness, build in our tactics and everything. So we're getting to understand, and you know, at least the positive thing for me today is that we got a clean sheet, and that's a positive thing, you know. And we played as a team, you know, and you know, step by step we need to keep on building, and we'll become better. Nah, he did really well. Since he's come in, he's been exceptional, and you know, all credit, he deserves it. He's been doing really well, and you know, he does his job, and you know, he's a future talent. So we need to protect him and make sure that he gets to his full potential.
So that's the captain, Jordan, but the fans were excited as well. They reacted to the game. We can take a listen to a number of the fans as well, and then we'll wrap up with Mutala.
Absolute delirium, absolute joy from fans here in the crowd after Ghana secured a victory against Panama in their opening game of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. As you can see, the fans are jumping, they are shouting, they are expressing a lot of joy. I'm going to be speaking to them to get their mood after this victory for the Black Stars. Chairman, how do you feel?
I feel good, bro. Ready, when we get the 3 points, I can't be safe. We go be played wrong. Last England, we go get 4 points. That place, we go. Make you no fear. Marvin, SM for life. Pow.
BAWKU,
today, I want to kill myself. You're solid, say 11 o'clock. I'm at Nancy. I'm a number 1. Nea Shawana. Ghana all the way. You're England. England is 2. Let's take England 2. Ole.
I feel very excited because at the beginning of the match, Panama wanted to give us a tough time. But we made them realize that our appearance for World Cup is 5 now. And then in World Cup,
and then I told you, I'm so excited. I'm so happy. We've won. I told you, we've won. We've won. Ghana.
Yes, you know, they get my feel, man. But the coach, he makes a one mistake. He's supposed to bring Inaki Williams to
to destroy them, you know. He's not giving a goal machine for Ghana. No, it's always the excitement we want. We need the excitement from this. Thank you, Black Stars. We needed this. Thank you, Black Stars. Okay, this is what we want. We want to win. And we've gotten it. 1-0. We are okay. We've gotten our win. This is what we want. This is what we want. We are proud of the boys. We are just proud of the boys. I thought you were going to win, and it's wrong. So proud of the boys. We are Ghana. We are Ghana. We are Ghana. We are Ghana. Jordan should find a different team. Jordan should find a different team. Black Stars, no Yasu. Yasu. I'll come over South Africa. Next time the coach will remove you very early. He's not a good player. There is no any team can beat Ghana. Ghana is winning. Ghana is bringing the trophy from the whole. Go there. Semenyo. We are the best.
At this point, the joy, the celebrations are going to continue throughout to the morning, the early hours of today. It's definitely a lot of joy here. Belishan, BAWKU Sports from East Legon, Accra.
Belishan with that report and a lot of excitement from a lot of fans yesterday. We can look ahead to a bit more. We face England on Tuesday at 8 p.m. And then we'll see how that goes as well. But there are still games to look out for today as well on TV.
But there were even games that were played that we need to talk about. Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, Ronaldo played football. You don't want to talk about it. Mawuena, Messi played, and I don't know how come Messi played just a day after Messi played. Ronaldo had to play.
Charlie, it was some way. He didn't have the best of games yesterday.
No, you should understand the situation that Ronaldo finds himself in now, and it's something that Thierry Henry has always said it, especially when you are fading out, when you are leaving the scene, when it looks like your time is done. Usually, as a top footballer, you don't want to accept that your time is almost done. So sometimes you need to manage yourself and say, okay, someone has to play ahead of me. He said usually you live in denial, and it's like that is where Cristiano Ronaldo is. He feels that once he is fit, he's the best footballer in the world, and he has to play at all costs. And that is the issue he had with some managers like Erik ten Hag, for instance. He felt I have to play ahead of Martial, Rashford, and all these boys. And even Portugal's manager, Fernando Santos, right. He had that issue with him.
Let's take you to Toronto right now, okay. Because Oreku Ampov has joined us via Zoom. Just quick chats in relation to the Black Stars. Oreku, thank you very much for joining us from far away. Ontario was where we played the game at, right?
No, Toronto.
Toronto, right. Oreku, it's a day after what is an important victory for the Black Stars. Talk to us as to how fans are faring, as well as the team, following that all-important win yesterday.
Well, Mawuena, it's about 4:19 a.m. here in Toronto. We've barely had any sleep. After the game, I think it was a really huge party here in Toronto. I won't lie, I didn't know the Ghanaian contingent here was that huge. They actually had a viewing at the Sankofa Square where, the Tumfo and other dignitaries were. And there were approximately over 50,000 Ghanaians there. Wow. And it was massive because after the game, that's where the after party was. And after 1 a.m. Canadian time, which is about 3 hours ago, they were still dancing to music and basically jamming. And so I think, it's been well received. And it's the fact that a lot of people are based here, born to Ghanaian parents, have heard stories about the Black Stars. Some have seen them from afar. Some have watched them play on TV. But this is the first time Ghana are playing in Canada. And so for many, it was once in a lifetime opportunity. They flew in from different cities here in Canada
just to be at the team hotel. Hundreds gathered there just to get videos, possible autographs, and just a glimpse of the stars. And right from when they arrived, about yesterday up until today, I think the support has been immense. It wasn't the easiest of games because Panama themselves, they are very used to this terrain. You know, they're not too far from here. They have a lot of people here, and they outnumbered the Ghanaian contingent at the stadium. They filled like 2/3 of the stadium, and so at a point it even felt like an away game. They play at the BMO field quite frequently. Have faced Canada there a number of times, and so they are used to the pitch. They're used to the stadium and all of that. So I mean, kudos to the Black Stars, because you could clearly tell from the culture shock from the beginning. And you see, that's why I think a lot of people didn't notice. If you were in the stadium, you would think that Ghana had traveled to Panama to play a game. And anytime the Ghanaian players had the ball, the Panama fans were actually booing Ghana. And it was so loud whenever they have the ball. And I think that had an impact. It didn't feel like a balanced atmosphere at all. The Ghanaian side of the stadium had a lot of empty seats, which was shocking because the reported attendance figure was just under 43,000, and this is a 45,000 capacity stadium. So the question is, where were some of the fans? But I think in the end, they managed to grow into the game and most importantly, get the 3 points. Although, the first half wasn't great, but I think they got better after. And here we are. Some people still celebrating it. It's still raining here in Toronto, by the way. And they were dancing in the rain, celebrating and all of that.
Right. Just quickly, finally as well, on the team, we saw them, the performance and all of that. In terms of the look and feel around them, what was it like after the game? We've seen videos of them celebrating in the dressing room and all of that, but in terms of some of the speeches as well after the game.
Well, I think it was relief. For some reason, the referee played a lot of additional time. I think initially it was around 6 minutes added, but they played almost 12 minutes. And so from my view at the stadium, a lot of the players on the bench, the technical team, they were agitated, calling for the referee to blow the whistle. And when that finally came, I think it was met with excessive celebrations. And for Carlos Queiroz, I've never seen him like that. Usually he would remain calm, but the moment they blew the final whistle, from where he's seated, the Ghana crowd was on the left, and he just started running towards the crowd. Didn't even turn around to look on the bench or anything. He just ran straight to the crowd and immediately knelt down towards the crowd. I don't know whether that was in appreciation or he was in awe, but he did say thank you. And then after he turned around, started dancing and pumping up the crowd, and then Painter brought the flag, and they did the lap of honor and all of that. I don't know whether it was relief or excitement, but I've never seen Queiroz like that since he's been as head coach for about 2 months now.
Right.
But I think it was just overall excitement. Everyone was really happy. The minister, Kurtz, that's the GFA president, they all went to the dressing room to give a bit of a speech and celebrate with the boys. And they did that in the dressing room because they're not going back to their team hotel here in Canada. They checked out of Delta Hotel, and so they packed their things before the game. And so right after, they went into their charter flight, Air Canada, around 12 a.m. Canada time, and they are back at Rhode Island in Boston, or Providence, which is close to Boston. And so, they're back at their base camp where they'll start preparation for the England game from later today.
Right then, Oreku, thank you very much for those details. I'm sure we'll talk to you again pretty shortly in the course of the coming days, perhaps a lot later as well on TV, when I get on TV a lot later. But that's Oreku Ampofu with 3 Sports joining us from Toronto in Canada. Says that the team has already even touched base in Boston and preparations will begin for the next game. Mutala, talk to us about games we're expecting today as well.
Games we are expecting today, there's a Czech Republic, South Africa, there's Switzerland, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Canada would be playing Qatar as well. But yesterday, Africa was proud not just about Ghana. the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, also holding Portugal to a 1-1 draw. We saw Egypt also holding Belgium 2 days ago to a 1-1 draw. It looks like Africa is really putting in a shift.
Right then, Mutala, thank you. Which one will be live today?
Today we are going to show one game, not really clear at the moment because the consortium are still sorting things out, but it's likely we are going to do a game that would involve either Czech Republic, South Africa, or USA who will be playing at dawn.
Yeah. Absolutely. Mutala Yakubu with 3 Sports joining us. We'll go for a round of commercials. When we return, we get into our big conversations for you here. Today we've had to focus a bit on the Black Stars because, I mean, a lot of excitement in town. And it's a World Cup season, and so rightly so. But get into a bit more for you here on the 3FM Sunrise after these spot of commercials. Because once Black Stars win, everywhere cool, everywhere sweet, everywhere excites. That's the feeling all around the country. But it will not stop us from getting into our big conversations this morning. Because even as we celebrate, there are conversations that need to be had. Local matters in terms of development within your municipality and your locality as well. It's one of the many things we're seeking to have conversations about today. And look, we're going to start it all off with the Minister for Local Government, right? Because he's been visiting localities and doing pretty much town halls. So the entire assembly will come. You sit down with the minister, they will open the accounts, he will ask you questions, and you will seek to provide answers and reasons as to what is happening. Because yesterday we were having very intense conversation. I think when I was on the news, somewhere in the Ejura municipality, deplorable roads, very terrible roads, right? And the people were complaining. I saw a four-wheel drive struggling on the road. And so I asked Ibrahim, who is my colleague in the Ashanti region, that but we know there are drip machines everywhere.
Yes.
So what is the assembly doing? No proper response as to the assembly wanting. So
why has it taken you 1.5 years and the money is still in the account? And which work were you having at them? Please, let there be silence in the room. You did disbursement on the 2nd of April, and your balance is 322. So even if not that disbursement, the whole money would have been in the bank.
What is happening is for connect all the administrative work is coming from IGF. And so
this one is not IGF money. This one is person with disability account from common fund, direct transfer, and the money first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. That's the 474. And you have spent only 152, and you have done some work. Which way? You have done what?
We have vetted 100 applicants.
Why should the vetting take you? How many months do you take to vet? How many months? If you have the album with person with disabilities, their data is with you. That is the essence of the album. The name, the number, the house number, everything is with you. So you know them. They are your children. That's why you are in charge of social welfare. Who is the assembly member here? Who is in charge of social services committee? Are you aware that this money is in the account for person with disability? Are you aware? Who is the presiding member?
Not even a single market.
You don't have a market, and you have money, and they say build the market, and you don't have land to build it. It means you don't need the money. No, don't laugh. I'm very serious. Parliament, we approved the disbursement formula. We've approved 58 million for you. The actual releases is 42 million. You have used only 10% in 1 year. How old are you in the office? 1 year. So your 1 year salary has been paid to you. But the 1 year money to be spent on the work is not. So that you are being paid, but the people are not benefiting. Is it fair? Are we being fair to the people?
No.
Why?
But
you see, director, you are paid. You were paid for the 1 year. You see, let me tell you, common fund, the impact on the people is what we will consider. 2025, oh, we've given this money to them. We've moved beyond that. What has been the impact of the money on the people? That's what 2026 we are going to be communicating. John Mama will want to see how many cheap compounds have I built. If you don't have cheap compounds, do you have a hospital within the district?
Yes.
Which hospital? Is it in good shape? Is it in good shape? Yes or no?
No.
Then they say go and build cheap compounds. You don't need cheap compounds. You have a hospital. It's not, shouldn't it be easier for you to account and say this is how much I receive? Then you are telling me you have spent 126,000, meaning 3 times of that money is in the account. You have not spent it. That's why I'm saying go and bring the records. If in 2025 we gave you 500,000 to 600,000 for persons with disability, and you are counting that you have spent only 126,000 on them, shouldn't I interrogate you further? Shouldn't I do that? So I'm right. Go and bring the records. Thank you. It's all part. You see, you are the proper city authority. You are the proper city authorities. You are in the Greater Accra region, the regional capital of Ghana, the Greater Accra city. You are not a village MCU. You are city MCU. And the regeneration of all those structures that you see is your responsibility. So you can't be complaining I don't have land. Because the assembly, your jurisdiction is not in space. Once you are on earth here, you have lands. How do you make sure that the few spaces left, you are able to build them vertical to provide public good to the people? That's what you should do. You've done one. And you said poor market structures. It was part of your presentation. The 24-hour market, why are you building it? Which model are you building? The small one. What is the size of the land? 4 acres. Then you have to go vertical. Since you don't have land, you see, so nobody can make Ghana good if you don't put Ghana in order. And when we are demanding it's all part. You see, you are the proper city. So you can't be complaining I don't have land. Because the assembly, your jurisdiction is not in space. Once you are on earth here, you have lands. How do you make sure that the few spaces left, you are able to build them vertical to provide public good to the people? That's what you should do.
In a number of assemblies, right? The first one was the Korle Klottey Municipal Assembly, Kokma. That's where he was asking questions about monies for persons living with disability and it not being disbursed at all. And they say they are registering or they are counting the persons living with disability within the municipality. The money has been released, so it's in the account. Then he was at Ayawase North Municipality where there was some money somewhere, nothing has been done. They are looking for land. That's why he was asking, they've given you money to build CHIP compound. You don't have a CHIP compound in your locality, but you have a hospital. The hospital is not in it's not in a very good shape. And the money is sitting in the account and you are looking on. Nothing is being done. Then 24-hour markets at Ayawaso Central Municipality as well. Questions being asked. He's been on a town hall of some sort, visiting local assemblies and seeking to understand what is being done with the district assemblies common fund, because the releases have been made. And in all the 3 samples we picked, the monies were in account, sitting there comfortably, and the citizens suffering, not benefiting, and the money not being used. And we were having this conversation yesterday.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Only for us to return to have even more evidence. And our ledger of facts is there. I'll come to case. So he'll get us into that as well. But perhaps we'll start from there after listening to the minister. And so hard facts, right? Whether our MMDCs, Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives, whether they are delivering or not. In terms of allocations, right, for district assemblies common fund, we are seeing upward trajectory in terms of disbursements. In 2023, 4.55 billion cedis was disbursed. In 2025, 7.51 billion cedis. In 2026, we're expecting 8.77 billion cedis to be released to the local assemblies. That will be a 16.8% increase from 2025 alone in terms of how much. And it's very significant, that aspect of mention.
16.8 is...
Also because, and this, I will digress slightly to commend the finance minister on the prompt disbursement, because one of the many things they criticized the previous administration for, and I remember very well, was that they were not disbursing monies to local assemblies for development to happen.
Right.
In fact, it was one of the things for which reason in the hung parliament, at some point they were threatening not to do business with the Akufo-Addo administration because releases were not coming through, right? But the question will be asked as to how much has been approved.
Right.
Because these are tentative figures, and we are to see how much has been approved. How much was actually released between 2019 and 2022 will cement even where I'm coming from. 6.4 billion, right?
Yes.
And it was not fully released, per what it is that was saying.
Yeah.
As of 2024, 2.218 billion release letters were issued.
Yes.
What was received by the districts, 52.16 million as at December of 2024.
Wow.
Suggesting that, yes, the release letter will come, but it is not cash.
Yeah.
Right? It is not cash. And so, yes, there will be, the finance ministry, so a letter has been issued for the monies to be released and what have you. But it doesn't translate into the monies which will result in cash being readily available to the districts for them to proceed in terms of business and delivering. Now, from there, we can move to 2023, and that's the fourth item which Frederick will roll up for us. We've seen what was an increase of some sort, right? An increase of some sort. And I want you to take us through these parts as well as we walk through the ledger of facts.
Yes. At number 4, we ask ourselves a question: what happened to the money that reached districts? And District Assembly Common Fund and statutory fund irregularities show that in 2023, between 2023 and 2024, in 2023 there was 49.65 Ghana cedis, 65 million Ghana cedis. Yes. So in 2023, there was 49.65 million Ghana cedis, and not in use alone, cost Ghana 52.97 million Ghana cedis, and payment for no work done. Payment for no work done cost Ghana 1.71 million Ghana cedis. The implication is that it's the biggest problem, and the biggest problem is not theft. It is unfinished and unusable projects. So if we look at 6 as well, are there really projects completed but not used? Yes. Projects left unused for 3 months to 69 months after completion. Some listed here are Hunter West Municipal. There's a CHIPS compound completed but unused because logistics and personnel were unavailable. There's also a Hunter West Municipal, again, 18-seater WC toilet completed but unused because authorities could not agree on who should manage it. And then for Mpoho District, there's a borehole completed, toilet facility completed, neither operational because they had not been formally handed over. The implication here is that this is not a financial problem. It is a planning and operational problem. If we look at our districts paying for work that never happened, yes. In 2024, the audit identified 1.71 million in payments for work not done. The Auditor General actually recommended contractors complete the work at no extra cost or refund the money, and officials be held personally liable where recovery fails. So at 8, we ask who is most often responsible for some of these things. And officials responsible for project approval, certification, payment, verification, and supervision. We have the MMDCEs, we have the coordinating directors, the finance officers, the works engineer, and then the procurement officers. The systemic contributors to some of these problems are delayed releases, weak monitoring, poor planning, weak enforcement, and sanctions. And then we ask again, why do the same problems keep recurring? Many assemblies start new projects before completing existing ones. So budgets frequently omit critical operational items like electricity connections, water connections, furniture, equipment, staffing requirements. So the result is completed facilities remain unusable. We'll skip the 10 red flags citizens should investigate to the crisis years. We look at the 3 major crises. That's the District Assembly Common Fund and Statutory Fund irregularities. If we look at the graph over there, you see that between 2019 and 2022, crisis number 1, underfunding and arrears. And then in 2024, crisis number 2, cash flow collapse. And then in 2024 to present, crisis 3, value for money crisis. So I think the forensic verdict that we have here is if Parliament approves 8.77 billion Ghana cedis for district development, the harder question is which district can show every project, every contractor, every payment certificate, every completion report, and every operational facility funded by that money. Ghana's greatest district governance challenge is not merely missing funds. It is the growing gap between money spent and value delivered.
Right. And even now, we're also learning from the minister on his tour that the monies are sometimes not even spent and they are sitting in accounts.
Yes.
Not being used at all.
But in this day and age, in this modern day and age, I mean, what's the minister himself even telling us? You said you were coming to reset the system, Mawuena. When you were coming, didn't you know these problems existed? In this day and age where technology is doing a lot for the world, what has stopped you from applying technology to solve some of these problems? We always make excuses and then we go after the people. These are long institutional cultures and it cannot change overnight. So if you're a new minister and you don't address the problem systemically, how do you expect it to change? These are system issues. We have a major problem in this country is we are not a country of systems. We're a country of big names and personalities. Because if we're a country of systems, a minister whose government is in power on the back of a reset should not be sitting there asking the people the kind of questions he's asking. He should be sitting in his office watching a dashboard, and he should see everything that goes on around the country on a simple dashboard. And he can call people and hold. Come on, Mawuena. We have private companies who have some of these solutions sitting on their administrative desk and they're able to better manage their companies. So if in this day and age we still have ministers who are telling us these things, you have to go so that people see that you are, yeah, we understand the optics is important. But even going is an expense. You sit in your office, you look on a dashboard, and you'll be able to see some of these things. So if you go and sit there and you're asking them questions, what do you expect them to say? Why are you always waiting to cure when you can prevent?
Thank you.
It doesn't make sense. So as much as the minister is going around and, I mean, there's a lot going on and he seems to be doing well, You know, and I can't blame him alone because most of these things are collaborative. The minister is not a technology expert. So who is going to empower? Can't we have a policy that just allows most of these institutions to be technologically correct? So we don't have,
You're struggling to come to terms with it.
I can't get it because even our small startups have these solutions.
The solution is too easy in his head. He does not understand why a state agency, government cannot implement something.
And we sit down for how many years? We've been sitting down for how many years? We would blame Rawlings, then we will fast forward it and blame Kufuor, then we will fast forward it and blame Atamils, then we'll blame Mahama 1, then we'll blame Ekufuado a lot, then we'll come back to Mahama 2. I mean, what kind of life is that? The new Ghanaian does not have time for this nonsense.
I want to pick it from the sort of appointments we're making to fill the slots, right? There's just this feeling that for a very long time it appears matters of local governance is not really regarded. We continue to look very central in terms of governance, direction, what should happen, and all of that. And so it almost comes off as a reward system for locals within party structures who may have done some very good grassroots work. We reward them, get them into DCE positions, and then it ends there, right? And so in picking it from just the top, which is the minister's reaction to the fact that funds are available and monies are not being used to address the needs of persons, I'm asking myself, do these people understand what it means to be a district chief executive or a municipal chief executive? Do they know what it means? Do they understand that at the locality, you are the president? The funds which are brought in, you are supposed to direct it towards the benefit of the people within the locality. Do they understand and appreciate it? It's a first question I'm asking myself, because in one of the videos I see one of the DCs seated close to the minister. He's been asked a question and he's looking on, and I'm asking myself, does he understand what is being asked of him? When they are asking that, build a market, build a chips compound, renovate a hospital, the money is in the account. Does he understand what he's being asked to do? Does he understand the role he's supposed to be playing? Such that he can, because it started from roads. There are so many areas today in this before the onset of the rains, the roads were bad. We have machines. Before DRIP, I was in Gan West. I lived in Gan West for like 7-8 years. The municipality has a grading machine. The roads can be in very terrible condition for a very long time.
3FM.
The machines will never be moved until it is time for an assembly election. Then an assemblyman will go to the municipality and go and get the machine and come and buy fuel, and it will come and grade some portions of the road and say, oh, I did it, and so vote for me as assemblyman. Meanwhile, the municipality owns the machine. We've upgraded. Now we have drip machines across all 260 districts. Yet,
are those machines still working?
Well, we can ask the question whether they are working. But on the simple subject matter of roads,
Mawuena, my concern is why do we need to ask before we are told? Why do we have to ask?
Thank you.
Do we have to ask before we are told? It doesn't make sense.
I come to your point where you ask the appointing authority, who qualifies to be an MC or a DC? Who qualifies? That is the first question we need to ask. Because if you are not development oriented, you don't understand spatial planning.
Please bring the constitution from my bag. Let's see if he answers the question as to qualify. No, I'm just saying.
Yes. If you don't have all these things, You don't understand development. You are not an engineer. You don't have spatial planning. You don't have any mindset, national development, anything. Why do we put you there? The point is that we are politicized. That's the reason I was saying yesterday that we don't need to vote for them, because it becomes more politicized. And when you politicize it, we put square pegs in round holes. A lot of the MMDCs that we have there are not supposed to be there.
It's just a replication of traditional governance at that level.
They are not supposed to be
there. It's a replication, and that is one of the things that has made our traditional council. Excuse me, Mawuena, when was the last time you heard a traditional council has accounted?
Check the Local Government Act. The Local Government Act 2016.
When was the last time you heard a traditional council has published its audited report? But it's a requirement in the Chieftaincy Act.
Yeah.
But when was the last time you saw a traditional council? Because we have taken the power from them and we've left them to misbehave, and then we've given the power to the district, the MMDCs and the likes, and they're not doing any better.
How many times haven't we seen the Public Accounts Committee sitting? This will come and sit there. So what the minister was doing on the screen?
It's pre-Public Accounts Committee.
Did he advance any punishment for anybody? Did he?
No, I didn't hear.
The thing you only hear is that, so go and finish the thing. Don't do this anymore. Next time, look, this is the institution that deals directly with the people. They are the institution that is on ground, that day-to-day issues confronting people is reported to. Now let's look at the MCE. Who is the MCE? Do you know the MCE in your community? Do you know the MCE in your community? Do you know? Most people don't.
I'm looking for mine actually.
Exactly.
Because there's a road. When I get this number.
Who is that person? How accessible is that person? Do they have town hall meetings regularly? Is it announced in your neighborhood that today we are coming to this center? We're coming
it's
to that
funny,
center?
they wait, and when the floods come, they start sharing rice. And I'm always asking, what kind of
what
logic?
What rice do to the road?
What kind of logic is that?
Look, the weakest. When
you've supervised, you've issued licenses for buildings that are not supposed to exist, and then when the floods come, or when there's a crisis, you see, within the community, then you show up and try to solve a problem. You are solving a problem with the same mindset that created it.
One of the weakest institutions in this country is the district assembly, or the municipal assembly, or the metropolitan assembly. It's the assembly system, because don't they have a task force that needs to be going round, seeking to ensure that things are done properly and appropriately? So, on what basis would you come and write on somebody's wall, stop work? What do you mean by stop work, produce permit? But the point is, if somebody is working without permits, the person has not started work at all. Break it down. Because the law says that without a permit, you cannot build. You cannot construct. So on what basis is the person building? And you would come and put a paint on the wall and say stop work. So much to the extent that nowadays people themselves write it on the wall, stop work, and continue. So many instances. So now I have stopped fighting. Let me give you a typical example. On the boundary road, that is the Legon bypass. Everybody is reclaiming the land there. The assemblies, there are 3 assemblies that are dealing with it. The Westland, the Abokobi, and then Legon Assembly. They take 1,000 cedis from the guys and they let them set up, in carpentry, metal work, vulcanizing, and so on by the road. The Legon bypass, from Gimpa going all the way to Hachu. Just check it. So people have put wire fencing along the place, and they've stolen the land. And you ask them and they tell you that the assembly gave them the permits. How much did you pay? We paid 1,000 cedis. To who? And that place is just close by the road. People are not supposed to encroach on those properties. You go there and the person is looking at you as a stooge. Because what? After you have left and made all the noise, they go to the assembly and they pay money to them. And they're encroaching on land that is reserved. It's a buffer area. It's a buffer zone. But it is ongoing. So of what essence is it? Come to Bunkatamanso. People are doing terrible things there. Zonda, building a property over there. They have cut a huge land like the size of a stadium. It is clearly showing that there is a road there. Access route for the people living within the community. The TDC boss walks in there to say that there is no access route. Meanwhile, there is a plan, a site plan that indicates there's a road. They have blocked it with a fence wall. The MCE was there, SKT Morton was there, then the TDC boss was there, and then the Zonda lady was also there. The TDC boss clearly told me in my face that there is no thoroughfare. Meanwhile, ECG has lined up electric poles through the place. Oh, grateful to God, it rained so heavily a few weeks thereafter. Go see the property. They couldn't even access it. All the water collected behind the walls. They now needed to break the wall for water to come onto the road. Meanwhile, the road has been blocked by Zonda. You report all these things and everybody sits aloof. Everybody sits aloof. They expect you to come and hand
waterways are being sold.
I mean, it is crazy.
Roads are being
squatters and all those things. Squatters are in the community. And people think that squatters living in the community is just clean. It's not. It's not. Who is living there?
Let's look at the evolution of district financing. From 1994 to 2000. You know, the establishment era. And it was the early years focused on creating the structures, disbursement, and then the accountability. And the Auditor General reports from this period already identified a recurring challenge. Allocating funds is easier than ensuring proper utilization.
3FM,
the common concerns included delayed releases, weak record keeping, incomplete projects, or poor financial controls. And many of the issues appearing in current audits first emerged during this period. That's the 1994 to 2000. Then, Mawuena, we look at the 2001 to 2016, the expansion of the the district funding. Here we see district assemblies increasingly relying on multiple funding streams like the district assemblies common fund, internally generated funds, district development facility, urban development grants, donor funded projects, central government transfers. And here, during this period, we witnessed rapid expansion in district level infrastructure. However, audit reports increasingly revealed procurement irregularities, unsupported expenditure, weak contract management, and abandoned projects. The challenge was shifting from funding shortages to accountability weaknesses. So let's look at the first challenge between 94 and 2000, which was allocating funds was easier than ensuring proper utilization. And then from 2001 to 2016, we realized that the challenge had shifted from funding shortages to accountability weaknesses.
That's just a bunch of jokes.
And then we look at 2017 to 2024. The accountability crisis deepens. These are red flag years. The District Assembly Common Fund and statutory fund irregularities recorded include 2019. Irregularities recorded include 2019, 124.64 million Ghana cedis. In 2022, there was 77.15 million Ghana cedis. In 2021, there was 66.13 million Ghana cedis.
Unaccounted for.
In 2022, there was 53.64 million Ghana cedis. And in 2023, there was 49.65 million Ghana cedis, and in 2024, there was 205.93 million Ghana cedis. The 2024 figure represents a dramatic spike and raises serious questions regarding compliance, oversight, and value for money.
Who has been punished? Who has ever been punished? That's the MC is responsible.
I think you summed the conversation up nicely with what you said, that they do not understand why they are there. I'll just add one more, that they, apart from they not understanding why they are there, they don't also have the ability to do what they're supposed to do, either political will or just sheer capacity to take certain decisions. I've put together this. This is the first root problem, okay? that the MMDCs and DCs, their lack of understanding, they understand the position they are occupying, but the purpose to which they are occupying that position, they don't know. So they know that they are the president's representative there. They know that they are the political head of the assembly. They know that they have to meet chiefs, they have to meet ministers, they have to attend functions, chair party meetings, chair meetings, and then all of those social functions.
But let me add an important aspect of meetings.
Yeah.
They are the head of security council.
Yes.
Within the districts and municipalities as well.
Those positions, they know what is entitled to them or what they are entitled to, but the purpose they do not know. You understand? So that is one of the things. That is why you would see money will be available, like the video we played, for an assembly to use for persons with disability, but they will not use it. The leader will say that the money is there. Yes. We have not spent it, so I'm a good leader. This is a person who clearly understands the position that he's occupying. But the reason why he's occupying the position, the person is not entirely aware. Know the money is there, use the money for the purpose that it is supposed to be used for. That is when we'll get to know that you know why you are there, and then you know the position that you're occupying. Now, to the second one that I'm talking about, that their ability to make those decisions is also very much in question. And this is what I mean.
Right.
Some know what should be done, and I'm saying some. They know that the place will get flooded. They know that they have to take a decision on that. Right. But are they able to take that decision based on where they find themselves, particularly based on the position that they occupy, the various interests that they should balance?
Right.
Do they have the political will to say that, yes, you are my constituency party chairman, but this place you are building, you should not build that place. So I'm coming to tell you to stop building or break down your house. Can they take that decision?
They don't have it.
You see, so that capacity is not there. It is two different things. I know that I'm supposed to do this, but am I able to? This is a reflection of the entire thing we see in the country, the lack of political will to take certain decisions, to make certain hard decisions. So we'll try to manage the situation, we'll write the stop work, we'll try to frustrate the process, when there is just one solution to enforce. But because that solution is too hard to do, we'll be dilly-dallying, delaying the process so that I'll wash my hands off it eventually and say, I did all I could. When you know that it was only one decision you had to take, but because of the repercussions that come as a result of that decision, you are not able to take it. So that is it. There's no strong will for them to do it.
The assemblies are very weak.
A few days ago, we were having a conversation with the local government persons, and he says that on paper, it looks like a good structure. On paper, there are people there. Somebody should do this. Somebody should deal with this. Somebody should deal with this. But if you go there, it is highly dysfunctional.
Yes.
That is what Rwanda came to do. Rwanda came to pick what's the name? Local
templates.
templates. And
they
that
went
is what
to
they are implementing there.
On paper, it looks as though it is very structured. Everybody has their responsibility.
Because it is structured. Yes. And that is why it should be easier to digitize their operations.
If you go to the ground, you see that, Charlie, the structure that is working is different from what is supposed to happen.
Really?
If we don't look at the reality of the situation we find ourselves in, and we keep saying that the laws are there, the mandate is given, everybody should be working, then we'll keep having these kinds of conversations, because it just is not possible for it to work the way it is working.
The assemblies are not working, my brother. The assemblies are not working. No, I see no MC or DC working effectively and efficiently, where you can say confidently that, look, structures within this neighborhood have been so properly stratified such that when you get in there, everything is properly arranged. You can walk through this. There's a game point. There's a place where children, recreational center,
who
there's
even
a clinic.
So a community is springing up, and then there's a plan.
Yes.
And they take it to the assembly, and the assembly endorses it, and the community is allowed to do business, be it a real estate company or whatever of the sort. Now, after 15 years, the plans within the community's architecture that enticed people to even buy land there has changed significantly.
Look at Tema.
Without any proper engagement with the residents of the community or whatsoever. And you keep wondering, like, sometimes, look, a typical Ghana South, that MC over there, you see, White Cross Junction, Samba Valley.
What I want to
over there.
The names.
I don't know what connection he has with Bedmate. I don't know what connection he has with Bedmate, but you see, some Chinese people are building, and look, that community, when it first started, that's a community I grew up in. It was a beautiful community. Yes. The areas closer to the Wager Dam was supposed to be waterfront.
Oh, yes.
In those days, we were even told there was going to be water sports.
Yes.
So we were so excited about it as kids. Yeah. And fast forward, there are
construction monstrosities have taken over the place.
And as a kid, right, the residents association in the area had a simple policy. When they realized that houses are being built outside of the community's architecture, they will engage with you. So we had our own stop work policy, right? And then you report to the association's leadership. And if you are not able to justify why, the matter escalates to the district assembly. I used to be one of those kids.
Let me just cut you there.
And you go there sometimes, and these guys will even attempt to assault you. But fast forward, today, when it rains, all those homes are flooded, and they are still expecting NADMO government to use taxpayers.
The assembly to come in.
Exactly.
Finish for me, and then I'll go on the phone lines because Dr. Richard Fiadomo has joined us on the phone as well.
You're asking yourself, what the hell are those MCs doing over there?
To buttress the point that Kay is making, at the point the assembly you mentioned that the residents there knew the plan of the community, so they had to help protect it. But now, do they even make it available for the people in there, the residents, to be willing?
They will conceal it from you
to help protect the image and the identity of the place. You see, I want to sum up and say
the chiefs will sell it to 99 or 69.
Yeah. See?
The chiefs will sell it to 69.
A strong MMC, a strong DC should not fear to be unpopular.
Take the hard because after all, you are not even being voted for now.
So don't fear to be unpopular. Dr. Naba was making an example that around the Tema Way, there's some road construction there. When it was happening, people were not happy. Everybody was crying, so blah, 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 blah. But now that the road is constructed, people are happy. So people may not see what you see,
the vision that you have.
But take that decision, make sure it happens, and then eventually they'll come around when they see that it is benefiting all of us.
Right. Dr. Richard Fiadomo is the president of the Chamber of Local Government Association, heavily concerned on matters in relation to local governments. Join us via the phone lines. Doc, I appreciate you joining us this morning. Our conversation is very simple. How do we make our assemblies work? Because all across, there appears to be a challenge with having these assemblies be effective and be the agents of development that they are across the country.
Yeah, thank you very much, and to all your cherished listeners. Yes, assemblies can become very effective, number one, if in the future we get the chance or the opportunity to elect our MMDCs through a universal adult suffrage.
Is that the only way? If we don't,
we've been saying this since time immemorial, Doc.
Doc, no.
As for this one, Doc, we disagree with you. Some of us think they are financing political survival, not development.
Yes. Don't think we are attacking you, but the point is that times without numbers,
we've heard this so many times, Doc. So, Doc, we are looking for dynamic ideas from people like yourself because
it's how assemblies can become very effective.
Right.
I am trying to flow in a certain manner. That is the best situation under the circumstance. I heard one of your panelists saying that we should have strong MMDCs. We cannot have any strong MMDCs today as we speak. Because the reasons why the assemblies are not being effective, number one, is unbridled political interference. If you go to the assemblies today, they have experienced engineers, they have experienced quantity surveyors, building inspectors. All these people are professionals. Yet, when they want to do their work the way they have to do, the very same MMDCs we are saying should be strong people are the ones who sometimes stop them, because politically they are being reined in to ensure that that does not happen. Who doesn't know that the Ramsey site, for example, in Teman, is supposed to be a reservation? Everybody knows. Yet every year we have regional ministers come to Shadow Box and go and do demolition exercises there. Who says that the assembly does not get to see that people are building in waterways? The assembly is very much aware. But the assembly become impotent because of the unbridled political interference. That's why I'm just saying that if we get the opportunity to elect our MMDCs through a universal adult suffrage, that will be the best solution to make the assemblies effective. Be that as it may, let's talk about the current situation. Why the assemblies are also not being effective at what they do is also because the assemblies are under-resourced. For example, you have an unguided chief going to sell a land in waterway. The person who is acquiring that land knows that, or should know, that before any physical development takes place, they should go to the assembly for permit. They don't go to the assembly for permit and they start building on their own. Sometimes by the time the assembly gets to realize that such a project is going on, some of these projects might have gotten to an advanced stage. Now, the assemblies are not financially capacitated enough to be able to just go out of their way and go and be undertaking demolition exercises because it comes at a cost. Yet, when the assembly goes to do some of these things, because it has not gone to a court for a court judgment, the assemblies are not able to surcharge persons who go and build in waterways. That is also another challenge today as we speak. So what is happening, and today we are seeing the flooding, it is easy for anybody at all to get up and blame the assembly for ineptitude or the assembly not doing what they have to do. But the fact of the matter is that we have citizens who are also become very indisciplined. For example, what can the assembly do when it is raining and citizens decide to now throw garbage into the drains for the rainwater to carry it away? In this particular instance or circumstance, what can an assembly do? So for me, the problem we have is citizen indiscipline, which I will give 50%, assemblies or MMDs ineptitude 30%, and unbridled political interference 20%. That is the challenge we have today. But if we are able to take away the political interference, where I want to agree with one of your panelists who says strong MMDC, then if I am elected, then I am strong because the source of my power is from the people, and this time around, not from the president. What I want to say here is that it's difficult to say, but I will say it. MMDCs are not necessarily appointed based on meritocracy. Some of them are not fit for purpose. But because of political patronage, they occupy those positions. So if somebody is occupying a position as a result of political patronage, what else do you want that person to do but to pander to the whim of whoever put in there? So all these challenges are not making the assemblies very effective. If you go underground and you talk to some of these local government staff, they will tell you how some of them have decided to even sit on the fence because they are not being allowed to do their work. Recently, we were in this country when the regional minister for Greater Accra spoke and even gave the impression that some people have been transferred as a result of punishment. So if I'm an engineer and I want to do what I have to do, and I can be transferred because what I'm doing, somebody sitting somewhere politically is not happy about it, then obviously I will also just sit aloof.
But is it not a competence problem which you highlighted? Because look, try as you may in making the argument that it is election which will result in a certain level of efficiency, we see the local level assembly elections, which we run every 4 years. Prior to the 2024 elections, the NDC was telling us they had secured the most in terms of votes, in terms of assembly persons who had been elected. And so that will also not solve the problem. It's a question of competence. And right now, it looks like competent people are nowhere close to managing our local assemblies to ensure that we reap the benefits of the framers of the Constitution.
Let me buttress your point, and Doc, this is what we are saying. You mentioned that there is unbridled political interference, yet you want us to politically elect these people. These two would never match, because if there's unbridled political interference currently, and you're saying that we need to vote for the people at the political level, then that means it is the same thing that we come to. Just at this time, you are
who is more popular will eventually be voted, and not the most competent.
If you say unbridled political interference, let us not call for elections, because it's going to be political. Number two, we're talking about by the time. All right, okay. So let's.
Doc, so come in for me, and then we'll come in with the rest of the question.
Yeah, you see, when we say election, I have not said partisan election or non-partisan election. In any case, anytime there's election through universal adult suffrage, then the source of the power of whoever has been elected is from the people, and not from any political person handpicking you and putting you there.
I'm not cutting you, but why are we playing the ostrich? Right? Because we know that even if the elections were to happen and it was not on political lines, we've seen the assembly elections. It's not a partisan election, but we see the colors that are used, and we see what the political parties say, that these are our persons. Vote for our persons.
That is where some of us are getting it wrong. You see, today, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is the president of Ghana. He has appointed somebody to head ECG. He has appointed somebody to head GAPUA. He has appointed somebody to head Gold Board. Have you gone to see the activities of ECG, activities of GPHA, activities of Gold Board being done in a partisan manner? The answer is no. When somebody is elected and the power source or the source of the power is from the people, this issue of assembly elections, which color in this country? How old is the NDC? How old is the MPP? The colors that they are using today, were those colors not in existence before the NDC was formed? Were those colors not in existence before the MPP was formed? Look at MPP colors. Look at the color of the Netherlands. Look at France. Are you going to say that France, Netherlands, they are MPP people? That is not the Constitution is clear. Article 55 clause 3 of Ghana's Constitution is saying that no political party should sponsor a candidate for local government elections. And when we talk about political sponsorship, it means that the NDC, MPP, CPP, they are going to file for on behalf of that person the Electoral Commission. Is that what is happening at the assembly level? So if I go and take two of NDC colors and I use it to make my poster, how do you say I'm an NDC person? If I take two colors of MPP, so the colors are not for the MPP. What is for the MPP is their insignia, the elephant. What is for the NDC is the umbrella. Can you tell me that you have seen any parliament using any of these insignias? The answer is no. What I want you to understand is that when somebody is elected, whether he's elected partisan basis or not, the person knows that the source of his power is from the people. You see, look at the parliamentarians. They know very well that yes, it's an NDC MP, yes, an MPP MP. But every time they go to their constituents, they are giving development common fund for them to do some level of development. They do all those things because they know that the source of their power is from the people. So the NDC MPs, their power is not from the NDC. MPP MP, their source of power is not from the MPP. It is from their constituents who voted and realized that you, this person, be on the ticket of NDC or MPP. You be the best person to be an MP. They will vote for you. So let us not confuse the argument that the fact that it is partisan or they are using colors, then when they can't,
it's not confusion of the argument. What we are seeking to say is that whether or not we vote on partisan lines or non-partisan lines, the linkage and affiliation of these individuals always will be there. In fact, when they go out there and they are campaigning, that comes up, which is a basis upon which we are asking a competence question. We're not just speaking about, oh, because the person is affiliated or not. No, it's not an affiliation. It's not an affiliation problem. It's a competence question and a competence conversation we are seeking to have. Yeah. But in following through on what we have right now, the current local government minister has been visiting the assemblies. Quite clearly, it appears a number of these MMCs are not doing a good enough job. Should we be seeing concrete action in terms of, for the first time, mid-term, after 15 months, the president says, in this local assembly, you are not doing a good enough job. In fact, there is money that's supposed to be used for development. We are not seeing you use it. Go home. Another person should come.
I would want to tie this into, for Doc to answer. So, Doc, you mentioned that there are times that by the time the assembly realizes somebody has put up a building in a waterway and so on and so forth. Doc, that is not proper. So what is the essence of the task force that sits within the assembly? Are they not supposed to be going around inspecting things that people are doing, checking whether things are being done appropriately or not? Because if the minister is saying that there is a lot of monies available and you're claiming that they're incapacitated, they are not incapacitated because they have funds available. They have a task force around. So we can't say that the assembly sits aloof and sees that somebody's putting up a building, which is not a torch that they just carry and lift and drop there, because there is digging, there is foundation, there is time, and all those things. So it's a process that the assembly task force can visit and see and know and realize and identify. So when we say that they are incapacitated, I beg to differ, Doc.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to concede that there are certain corrupt elements within the assemblies who also go to the field, see that a property is springing up, that property has no permit, and they use the back door to collect money and try to legitimize the action or activity that is taking place. I agree those elements are also in the system. But you see, don't be quick to be taking politicians when they say things and then go to town with it 100%. Because you see, if the local government minister, for example, says there's money given to the assemblies have money, don't also forget that the very same local government minister has given guidelines on where areas that those money should be spent. So if you have given me an assembly guidelines, you have also given me money, I must comply with your guidelines. So I cannot use money that is meant for the 24-hour economy market to go and be paying IGF staff to go and do task force business. I cannot use money that you have given to me to build a chief's compound to do any other things. So when they say that the assemblies have been given the money, we should also ask them what specifically have they asked the assemblies to use the money for. And there's a guideline. So this issue of blankly saying that assemblies have been given money 80%, that 80% came with a string attached to it. So those are the things that we should begin to question. Why the monies are going and their strings attached. So how do you expect a chief executive worth his salt to, as it were, go against the directive of the local government minister or the government? It is practically impossible. That will be insubordination and can lead to his or her sack. So I just want to bring to your attention that any time they say there's money at the assembly, every money that goes to the assembly has a certain specific assignment or activity to be performed with it. The problem we also have when we go to the peri-urban and the rural areas, the district assemblies that are there, their IGS are next to nothing. So for them to even recruit task force and be paying them on a monthly basis, they cannot do it. And that is why I'm saying that the assemblies are understaffed. Not understaffed, but under-resourced in terms of finances. And that is why the challenge is. So as for the DACF, if anybody mentions that they have sent it, it has gone with strings attached to it, and the Assembly's chief executive must comply.
Right,
so I want us to separate the fact that they have sent them money and they should use the money to do task force and other things. They cannot misappropriate the funds or misapply the funds to do some of these things.
Very well, Doc. We'll leave the conversation here. I'm not sure it's the last time we're going to have a conversation about district. In fact, we might have you come into the studio for a much extended conversation because we intend to stay on this subject matter for a very long time. But I appreciate you joining us as well this morning here on the 3FM Sunrise. That's Dr. Richard Fiadomo. He's president of the Chamber of Local Government speaking to us. I'm going to come around for final words in relation to this district assembly matter and MMDCs, and then I'll call it wraps.
So for me, it is quite funny when we say they must be elected for, or we have to vote for them. It is very funny because we live in a country where everything is politicized. So you cannot tell me that you can't see the hands of politics or partisanship in the assembly.
Even university elections are politicized.
So voting for them does not change it
at all.
It is we sticking to the tenets of what an assembly is supposed to do.
Exactly.
In a community, that is what it would be, such that we need to assess the work that you have done thus far. Like you're saying, after 1 year, after 15 months, after 20 months, after 24 months, what have you done? Because the people within the community need to say that we need a clinic. And the clinic is valued at this amount. The assembly has been given $17 million,
right,
or 70 million cedis. How much can pay for that and construct it? We need a school, we need a road, we need so and so. If all those things have not been done, and we are not conducting, town hall meetings to ascertain whether or not the person has been able to deliver on all these things, the assemblies will sit as they are. We put party people in the assemblies. When MPP is in power, the guys there are all MPP boys. They are boys. See, they allow their girlfriends to put illegal structures on pavements and so on and so forth. So please, the assemblies,
right,
they would never work if we say we are going to vote for them. We must put people who are capable, understanding engineering, spatial planning, and all these things before it can work.
Okay, quickly, because we have another conversation that's coming up.
Yes, in fact, for me, I think the most explosive question of all is what if the district assembly common fund's biggest accountability problem is not the missing money, but missing measurement, because we seem to know how much was allocated, how much was released, how much was spent, but we often don't know how many lives it improved, how much poverty declined, how much productivity increased, and how much local wealth was created. So it looks like we are financing political survival, not development.
Cross coming for me, and then
Eric, there's nothing new to add to what Patrice has said. We cannot vote for them. We need to look for people who are capable. It comes back to the central government. If they are really, really committed to the development at the local level, then they will look for the people who are capable of working there. If they are not committed and you go and vote for them, they will present to you a fake neutral who is incapable and will never solve the problems there. Also, one more thing, the people living in the various communities, they should sometimes also take it upon themselves to demand more. Much to the residents of the DC, much to the residents of the MMC, and demand action, demand for something. Sometimes when the pressure is too much, they cannot but solve it.
Right. Thank you, guys. We'll go for this break. When we return, there's a special guest from the Ghana Sports Fund who's joining us.
So I couldn't steal 1 minute. For Father's Day, there's something happening. Just 1 minute.
Okay.
So it is called a walk with dad. So those of you who want to bond with your dads, we can meet at Aimensa this Saturday. Early in the morning, 6 o'clock sharp. We're just climbing the hill. Come with your dad, walk with your dad.
Climb
the hill.
My dad is 80 years.
And then we'll meet at the what's the name? Tavern place.
Right.
It's been put together by Ghana.
I have to
Fantastic. Right. We'll go for this break. When we return, we talk sports development just briefly.
It's a goal! The World Cup football fever is here.
me, Mawuena, Egbeta, and the rest of my colleagues, I'm thankful to say that we've been joined by Dr. David Kofi BAWKU, as a Mauvi in there, and I love that. He is the administrator of the Sports Development Fund. Ghana Sports Fund, right? So, Doc, I will just ask that you get close to the microphone a bit for me. This was an idea mooted for a very long time as to providing direct source of funding, amongst many other things, to sports development. That has come to fruition, and the office has been set up, Act 1159, and all of that. Talk to us about the fund and the task you've been undertaking since you became a creation of law.
Thank you very much, my brother, and I want to use this platform once again to say a very good morning to all Ghanaian, African, and also to congratulate the Ghana as a nation and the Black Star for the victory yesterday or this morning. We are happy to be associated to this victory. And as you rightly said, Ghana Sports Fund, the act was passed last December in Parliament, giving us a legal entity to set up a system of sustainably funding or providing a system of funding and managing sports to the level that sports become a national platform of development. In other words, providing professionalism, technical know-how, and everything that it takes to put sports on the GDP of Ghana. So since the law was passed, we were inducted or appointed into office in January. By February, the governing board was commissioned, and since then we've started working behind the scene, setting up the office, trying to get the strategic plans and all operating stance in place. This is a work we have been doing very, very seriously behind the scene. Much has not been heard about us because we want to open an office. We want to set up the necessary lines and communication channels so that we can be reached. Now our office is located on the World Trade Center building, 9th floor in Accra, near National Theatre for easy location, just behind the British Council. So this is what Sport Fund has been set up to do. Like we are saying already, I believe in the communication, we'll talk much more about the things we will do. But
which is where I want us to go to immediately, because for the idea of the Sports Fund, we've heard about it, we know about it, but now that you are here, what are you seeking to do? In which areas are we to see your handiwork play out?
Okay, so I want to make it very clear that Sports Fund, per the law, it is not just a funding institution, it's not just a platform to give money to federations or to give money to individuals who engage themselves or fund themselves in sporting activities. This is a system, a platform to develop sport and also make sure sports become a development activity for the nation. So to really give you a pictorial view of what we are to do is to look at a nation like Morocco, Kenya, United Kingdom, how much sport is contributing to those economies. It is because a platform has been set. It is because opportunity has been given to young talents to develop, irrespective of gender or wherever be what do you call it, things that divide us. Everybody has
opportunity to be developed as far as you are doing anything in sport. It is not limited to football or boxing. It is not limited to any particular athletes. Everybody doing anything in sports will have access, including the technical people, including infrastructure development, including any support system,
right,
including welfare of all sportsmen, all athletes.
So you take care of, or you play a role in the taking care of the welfare of athletes across sport.
Yes, across
There's
sport.
expectation of funding the development of sports as well.
Yes.
Which is there a blueprint we're looking on, right? Because you mentioned Morocco, you mentioned England, who have had similar of such institutions which have existed for some time. Are we looking at any of these nations and saying, okay, this model has worked here, let us bring it here and see how best it works for us and develop sports across board so that we can begin to reap the benefit in a few years to come?
Okay, sure. So number one blueprint is our Act 1159. That is the first fundamental blueprint we look on. Then we now look out for best practices from elsewhere.
Right.
And looking at doing a SWOT analysis of Ghana as a nation, as a sovereign nation. What are our core advantages that we can take advantage on? It is not every sport in this world that we can participate in very well. So we look at the ones that are low-hanging fruit and develop the lesser one accordingly or alongside. So we develop holistically. And in fact, it's not only limited to the competitive sports. We're talking also about recreational activities to make sure as a nation we are developing healthily. A good exercise gives you a preventive health care. So sports fund, our blueprint, it's not just limited to a document today. It is always improving as we develop.
You mentioned recreation and all of that. I just want to ask a question because a question has come through about esports. It's a multi-million-dollar industry now. It continues to grow. Is that also within your focus on Radius in terms of what you intend to do going forward?
Okay, the law says sports development and development for sports. So it depends on definition at any time, what is included or what we can harness, anything concerning sport that we can develop to bring sport to the GDP, a line on GDP.
So anything that will seek to bring about a contribution in relation to the country's GDP and is sports related is something you're focused on. I'm just going to ask one question because I'm getting the sign that we have to go. What is the first major step or major big investment you'll be seeking to make as a sports fan? Tell us today. Maybe I can hazard a guess and say football, but I'll have you tell us in terms of what is the first thing you want to do as a sports fan in terms of a major investment or major area you want to develop?
Okay, a major thing we want or we are looking at is grassroots sports development, identification of what do you call it?
All types of sporting talent.
All types of sporting talent, and also looking at the international competitions that are at hand. How best we can support to make sure Ghana is still on the limelight of leading or getting some medals or revenue back to Ghana. So these are some of the things we'll be looking at.
Right. Doc, you have a friend in 3FM and Media General because I have a special interest in sports development. Okay. And so I'm certain we can have a conversation again very soon, and I'm sure I'll put there are a few people who are wanting to get in contact with you as well since this brief conversation even came up, and so I will seek to have that done as well. But I appreciate you for joining us this morning, even though our conversation has been very brief. And I know there will be a need for us to have an extended conversation. I'm sure I can work with production to have that done again, but I appreciate you for joining us this morning. That's Dr. David Kofi BAWKU is the fund administrator of the Ghana Sports Fund, joining us this morning for a quick conversation. I want to do birthdays quickly so that we can get out of the studio. A number of you are celebrating your birthdays today. The first one is to Private Educhuma Priscilla of the 49 Engineers at Burma Camp, wishing you strength, courage, and success in all you do. May your new year be filled with blessings and protection. Enjoy your special day. Private Educhuma Priscilla, happy birthday to you. A happy birthday to Jeremiah Ni Late Tete, wishing you long life, good health, and God's continuous protection and blessings in all you do. From Big Joe and Alinsha. Those are the two birthdays we have. That's our show for you today. And Unam Haliga is on standby to bring us a news update as well. We're back, God willing, tomorrow with another exciting edition of the show. Many thanks for being a part of it today.
I am Enyonam Haliga. Will start off with some news from the World Cup, where the Black Stars of Ghana secured their first 3 points at the ongoing FIFA World Cup in their ongoing opener against Panama. The goal by Caleb Iranchi in the dying numbers of the 10th game sets the Black Stars up for the second game against England. 20-year-old Iranchi topped in a delicious cross from Thomas Asante from close range to give the Stars a flying start at the World Cup. On Tuesday, June 23, Ghana will seek to earn another 3 points against England in what it promises to be a blockbuster encounter.
92.7.
Now, away from that to some education stories. The Ghana Education Service says a full-scale investigation is underway in collaboration with security agencies to identify all individuals involved in the assault of 2 teachers and the destruction of properties at the BAWKU Senior High School in the Upper East region. The Ghana Education Service has warned that those responsible will face both legal and disciplinary sanctions. 2 teachers were injured, while several school properties were also damaged after some students attacked the teachers during the ongoing West African Senior Secondary School Certificate examination over examination rules. Now, the statement says management views these attacks on teachers in the course of their official duties as a serious breach of school discipline and a threat to the safety of the staff of the service. It stressed that anyone found culpable will face the full force of the law as well as internal disciplinary procedures. Now, in a related development, the Ghana Education Service is taking a firm stance against sexual misconduct in schools, insisting that teachers found culpable will face the law and disciplinary sanctions. The Ghana Education Service says students' safety remains a top priority. The Parent Teachers Association is also calling for stronger preventive measures and closer collaboration between schools and parents to protect the learners.
of Parent-Teacher Association of Ghana, Gabson Kofi Raphael, expressed frustration over what he described as weak enforcement of existing policies.
We want them to go beyond that and make sure that he goes through the full length of the disciplinary procedure and make sure that he is dismissed, released from the GES system and taken off the system. We are also calling on the GES and the Ghana Education Service that it calls for sober reflections that the system we find ourselves in clearly tells us that the GES must implement the sexual harassment guidelines now.
Meanwhile, the head of public relations at the Ghana Education Service, Daniel Fingi, explained that GES has a clear code of conduct regarding teacher-student sexual misconduct.
Part of our rules is that if you are a teacher, you cannot have carnal knowledge you cannot have any sexual engagement. You cannot see the nakedness of a student.
And that was a report by Samuel Adams. Now, before we go, the Supreme Court of Ghana has paid a courtesy call on the leadership of Media General as part of activities marking its 150th anniversary. The visit, led by justices of the Apex Court, seeks to broaden stakeholder engagement, drive aimed at deepening public understanding of the judiciary's role.
Addressing the leadership of Media General, the delegation outlined a series of activities lined up to celebrate the 150-year milestone. Chairman of the Supreme Court at 150 Anniversary Planning Committee, His Lordship Justice Richard J. Frimpong, spoke on behalf of the delegation.
We want to thank Media General for opening its doors to us. The peace and stability we are enjoying now is mainly attributable to the performance of the court over the years. And therefore, there's every reason to celebrate the Supreme Court. And therefore, we invite all Ghanaians to be with us, stand with us, and participate in the activities that have been lined up to mark the occasion. We have various lectures capturing various topics which we think will bring the court into some engagement with the public. We are also going to have a legal aid clinic where the court, in collaboration with the bar, will meet with the common people on the street, market women.
He also mentioned that the delegation will collaborate with stakeholders for improved justice delivery system.
That we need to look back and take stock of where we have come from. We also have to look at where we are now. As a court, as an institution, as a partner in democracy, as a stakeholder in our governance structure, how have we fared over the years? And there's also an opportunity for us to chart a course into the future. What kind or type of Supreme Court do we want to see 50 years, 100 years from now? So the celebration is going to impact on our work. We are going to interact with other stakeholders.
And that was a report where the judiciary is outlining some activities as it's set to mark its 150th anniversary celebration. And that brings us to the end of the news update here on 3FM 92.7. For more news, please check our website at 3news.com. I am Enyunam Maliga. 3 Lounge continues.